I'm live. I'm alive. Hi, guys. Glad you're here. Thank you for showing up. This camera, apologize. I want to apologize. This camera, this is duct taped up here, guys. I'm trying to fix it. I so apologize for this. All right. I think it's squared up. I'm really not off kilter that badly. Let me say hello to people. Kaylee, thank you for coming. I appreciate it very, very much. Yep, this is a celebration for us. Traveling Nate dog. Boy, that off-centered, oh, that is not good. I struggle with being stable anyway, so having my camera, it's better. Traveling Nate dog, thank you. California Travel Vision videos. Thank you for coming. Backroads Nomad, of course. Thank you for coming. Very, very, very happy to have you here. TGIF, woohoo party. Kaylee saying hi. Thank you, Kaylee, for being such a wonderful moderator. And I'm going to bring everything up on my phone so I can pay attention. Where did it go? Oh, just a minute, Zarzar. Just a minute, Zar. I'm getting there. Got to go to my channel, apparently. I have a channel. I have a YouTube channel, guys. There it is. All right. So I want to double check and make sure who I've got in here as moderators, and I can only see that on the YouTube side. So I have to... There's a commercial, imagine that. All right, so I'll just continue to say hello to everybody. Backroads, California, Bernie Ferry Dust Pena. Thank you, Bernie. Very much appreciate you being here. There's Kaylee, Travel. All right, so I want to thank everybody who's here right now for coming. I appreciate it. Richard and I appreciate it. He's in the background. He did build me a fire. Thank you very much. And I don't know if you can see Czar. I'm going to show you Czar. He wants, hi, Czar. Say hi to everybody. Czar Binks. Say hi to everybody. He is the sweetest dog you could ever imagine. And haven't been so badly abused. I wouldn't be a sweet dog. Maggie, can you let him out, Richard? Maggie2263, hello to you. JNN Travels. Alberta, he is. Alberta Hinksman. Hello. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy. I'm so happy today. Sylvie Mayer, thank you for coming. I appreciate it very, very much. And let's see. So we've got, I think I'm caught up. Dogs, for the most part, love people even when they are cruel. Yes. He was horribly abused. He was constrained by barbed wire, and he still has the scars on his legs. But he's a loving, loving dog. Modern King, that would be my son, Brent. I love you. Thank you for helping me today with things. Some more hellos. So we're here today to celebrate our monetization. And not just that. So that's part of it. Yay, I'm happy we're monetized. I worked, and Richard worked, Land Cloud Adventures with the beautiful, beautiful dogs. If you don't know Land Cloud Adventures, and especially if you love dogs, please go over there and check them out. This is going to be handled in 2 different ways. So I may go 2 hours. I'm not sure. Jim Bertrand, welcome. Glad you're here. And I do have, pretty sure I've got some live chat. Let's see. Yep, I've got a couple moderators in here. So first of all, I want to ask people, I want to thank you for coming. I really, I'm from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being a part of our channel. Because the only way anybody can sit in front of a camera and say, thank you for getting us to monetization point is because of the people who watch it. That's it. bottom line. So for whatever reason, we've made a good connection with people. Hello, TGIF. Thank you for coming. We've made a good connection with people, and here we are. And I'm forever grateful for that. And so the second part of this is that, so we're going to talk about some things in our channel and what we're going to be doing and just that kind of stuff. And then and additionally, Traveling Granny, hello to you. Thank you so much for showing up today, is talk about people who have helped get us here, some very specific people. And I'm going to ask that when I say who it is, I'd like my moderators to get their link and drop it in the chat, even if they're not here, because I've been in contact with a few people that I really feel compelled to share about, and I did it last night and a couple this morning, and I did not get to everybody. And what I'd like you to do is drop their link when I share who it is. So that's pretty simple. And then the other thing is, if it turns out I'm not making a if you end up being so inclined, well, I'll tell you in a minute. So anyhow, and then the second hour, if it feels like it's going to be right thing to do, is I would like to have some newer channels that are not yet monetized come up and share about their channels. So don't mistake this as not an opportunity, because I missed 2 opportunities because I was afraid. And I don't want this to be a channel anybody's afraid to come up and talk with us on, except that, you know, we might be a little tilted. I enjoy chatting with every single person I've interviewed or who's been willing to come up. So that's the other thing. So talking about the channel, thanking people, and then having people come up. I don't care if I've already interviewed you or if I've never interviewed you. I want you to know you're welcome on this channel anytime, and especially today. All right, so we did it. And as I talk, I'm going to take some notes because it helps me keep track. So first things first, thank you for if you're one of our 1,000+ friends. I hope that you get something from this channel that, first of all, thank you, Lucky Dog Productions moderator. Thank you so much. I just I so appreciate that. We're going to be talking about that word money here in a minute too, because that's an important piece of this. You know, once you get monetized, important in lots of ways. I want you to know that we are stewarding your money in an appropriate way. So I guess I need to find out how to turn off the monetization, or the monetization number, so that I'll say this up front. I've made a decision today to simply use I love the super chats because they're so cute. You know, it's immediately you're known. And I want to try that Yarny Zebra and stuff. Thank you. I want to find a way to do this differently. First of all, the money. It's important to say up front, like I just said, our intention is to steward whatever it is you gift us with, because I take it seriously. It's kind of like when I'm driving that RV down the road, I am very serious about maintaining that RV in a responsible way, because so much is at stake. And I feel the same way about a super chat, about someone gifting us money that they have earned in some way that's theirs, and they say, I'd like to share with you. And it is never easy to talk about money, and I need to say it quickly up front, because it's my understanding the issue I have with this is on super chats and super stickers is that YouTube takes 30%. And that really feels like a lot more than what's appropriate. However, that said, I support YouTube, and I want people to watch our videos and watch the commercials, and actually not just for us, because it's just a few cents, like 1 to 3 cents, I believe. It's because it is a way to pay back YouTube, and they give us an opportunity people who were nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just me. And I decided to join YouTube and have a channel. They give people who have no experience with anything, and sometimes they do, an opportunity to share their progress and their process with people, with strangers. And so I feel like it's better spent money if it is done through PayPal, because they take minimal to none, depending on how it's set up, and minimal to 3%, I think. It's very, very limited. And if you, by the way, are on an iPad or an iPhone and you Super Chat or Super Sticker Me, Apple takes another 30%. So that is 60% off the top, not counting taxes. It's taxable money. So I disdain having to talk about money. I don't know anybody who likes it, but Patreon as well. Right. So I have a Patreon account that I'm closing because I can do all of the things I want to do here on YouTube for now. And so that said, I believe that I'm going to go to my banners and I'm going to put up my PayPal, so that anybody who wants to do it, please don't do it if you can't, or you just feel like you have to. Please never, ever feel that way with us. We are not those people. We are not that channel. And I've already lost 3 people talking about money. See, that's the problem. Money, nobody wants to, nobody wants to talk about. But that's, I just want that out there. Please don't if you don't feel compelled to. All right. Northwoods RV Life, thank you for coming. I was just talking about money, which is not an easy thing to do, but I'm requesting. I didn't have an opportunity, and I don't know how to turn off the money button on YouTube. So I'm going to need someone to tell me how to do that. I would prefer that people, if they want to give, and again, please never feel compelled that you have to, or that I'm begging you or doing YouTube panhandling. Not the case. If you feel like you want to, please do, but I do prefer, because it's a better stewardship of your money if it goes to PayPal. Okay, so that's that. If we have to talk about it again, I will say something else. Stacy Little. Hello, Stacy Little. I need to write your name down, because CAY, I think you're new. And I appreciate you coming. All right. So I want to talk about quickly, well, not even quickly, I want to talk about how we got here. And there are 2 parts to burning up the roads. The other part is simply the silent other half. He is not really excited or interested in being on here. And that's okay. He doesn't have to be. First, I want to say people that have really put us in a position to be here. Okay, so I'm going to do some heritage. You know who did a really good job at this about a week ago, and that is channel name. His name is Ray, and his channel is Van Life Rocks. Van Life Rocks. Could you please drop his link? He did a really much better job at doing what I'm getting ready to do. All right. So if somebody could drop Van Life Rocks channel, I'd appreciate it. Okay. So how we got here. Most of you heard this story. I'm just trying to do it quickly. The first person who ever turned me on to the idea of burning up the roads, becoming a part-time or full-time traveler, is Bob Wells. And if I can get to Quartzsite next weekend, on Sunday of this week, I will be, or of next week, however you see it, I will be interviewed by him and our rig toured. And that will be one of his 52 videos he puts up, one a week for 52 weeks. And I got really lucky because of Kaylee. Kaylee, B&D Crafts, and more. Hello, Brian. Thank you for coming. And he is going to be interviewing us. So we've got kind of a hitch in that process, but we're trying to get through it. And so we'll see. We'll see. I'm petrified we're going to lose the chance, but you know, things happen. So anyways, Bob Wells, the way he looks at the world as far as traveling, and being a nomad, I absolutely fell in love with it. You know, who wouldn't love to have a beautiful backyard every day or every other day, or go to a different backyard or front yard every other day or every 2 weeks or once a month? RV DJ, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Sonia. So that is the first person, Bob Wells. And right now they're involved in the first virtual RTR. And I've watched one of their videos. I've not been able to do any of them in person, or, you know, in the moment they're doing it yet, but there's a bunch. And today at 5 o'clock, I think it is, I'm going to be doing a virtual campfire with them. So, and I've put that on my community tab. So Bob Wells is the first person. And so that I can't get him up here today, but I want to make sure y'all know that is a person who first identified this for me. The other person, so from Bob Wells, Box Van D. So if you could drop Box Van D's channel link, I'd appreciate it, because she is number 2 on the list, and she is by no means less than Bob Wells for me, because Box Van D, I remember watching her thinking, OMG, this lady started out in a car to get away from an abusive relationship. You know, that's her story. And so that I feel okay about saying that. So Box Van D is a heroette of mine, and I look to her a tremendous amount of time for what to do and how to do it. She does her own builds, basically, by herself, and with some exceptions, you know, for things she doesn't know how to do. But extremely, where RV staying? Thank you so much for coming. I'm very happy you're here. So Box Van D is number 2 on that list. And there's my sister, Priscilla Hughes, cinnamon butter. Yes, cinnamon butter and sugar. So, and there's Box Van D's channel. I can't imagine there ain't a person in here who doesn't know Box Van D. But if you do know her, but you don't know her impact on people, it's a tremendous. So I met her through watching Bob Wells, and I met a litany of other people that I didn't really get into their channels. And by the way, some may have a YouTube account but don't have a YouTube channel. That is a little different. So I'm indebted to her. And I adore Box Van D. She's one of my to-do list checkoffs. You know, I've got to go see her. I need to meet her in person and talk to her. Sylvie Mayer says, Box Van D shows us to find strength when you think you have no more. Absolutely. So the idea of doing what I'm doing right here, this moment, came from her. Or the strength, I should say. So Box Van D, hello, sweetie. Thank you for being here. I'm talking about you right now. Your ears must have been burning. So I remember she was on Blue Wave Odyssey show, and there was some talk about her doing a live stream. This was before live streams. And hello, Glorious Life on Wheels. I am glad you're here. And so she was talking about it. And she just did not envision doing it. You know, no. A week later, with all the, you know, the strength that she had and the kerfluffles she went through on that first show, she showed up and she did a show. And I'm like, OMG, once again, an OMG moment. Hello, Ford Man. Hello, Kenneth. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Box ND. So I thought, if she can do it, why not give it a try? You know, you did it with Grace D, and you did it with all the elements of confusion that everybody, I think most everybody, goes through those first few live streams. But you really gave me the give it a try, Lucretia. You gave that to me, so thank you so much. Don't worry about being late. All right, so from D was Blue Wave Odyssey, Bob from Blue Wave Odyssey. So if you could drop Blue Wave Odyssey's link, I'd appreciate it. He's an instrumental at 2 levels. I learned how to do a live stream. Kind of what he taught me was about sitting here and kind of managing a live stream, keeping it within some limits, let's say, and streaming in a way that makes sense. Now, I don't always make sense, I'm fairly certain, but Blue Wave Odyssey is responsible for if I'm able to carry through a live stream or not. Okay, we're going to do some of the things that he does or did on his live streams and here in a minute. So we've got Bob Wells, Box Van D, and then we've got Blue Wave Odyssey. Bob, extremely kind, welcoming person, willing to share. He even, at my request once, came dark into one of my live streams and then gave me an assessment of how I did, because that's how I learn. You know, I am used to being assessed, and I enjoy that because that's how I get better. Rometown girl. Hello, Kim. Please drop Kim's link. She's also instrumental. I'm going out of line here, but I just want to say, since I saw her, a channel pop up here, she is instrumental as well, because she is a single lady out there. Now, I will have my husband, pretty sure, unless he gives me too much crap. He will be traveling. No, he's very useful, and I love him. So anyways, that's the lineage. And then the other thing that Bob did is he opened me up to a big community of people. And I sat in Bob's live streams and I took down the names, channel names of every person that came into those streams for weeks, probably months. And I started connecting. I started going to their house and saying, hey, I'm new to the community. I like this channel. I like what you did here. I like how you did it. I try to point out technical things that I like how someone may do overlays. Some people are really good at overlays. Some people are just straight out great at photography. Thank you, Brian, for that. I appreciate it so much. So that's bringing me back to money for a quick overviews, just a quick overview since we've got some more people in. And I lost 3 people when I talked about money before, so I'm going to make this really quick. I didn't know how to disassemble, so to speak, my chat or the super chat button. I am going to go from, I'm not going to use the super chat preferably. I'm going to leave it up because some people really prefer it because it's right there. You can see it. But I want to be a good steward of whatever money you gift me with, because your money matters to you. And if you so choose to say, hey, Lucretia, I think I'd like you to have a little bit of this, help your channel out, that matters to me. And YouTube takes a lot of it. It takes 30%. And then if you're on an Apple product, Apple takes 30%. So right off the bat, you've given 30% to YouTube and 30% to Apple. And while I support YouTube because they're making it possible for me to be on here, they will get their money made back through other means that they have, such as the advertisements, which I encourage everybody to watch. I'm watching your advertisements now so I can help YouTube stay afloat. Anyways, I prefer using my PayPal. First of all, it's instant usefulness to us. And secondly, it's a better steward of what you're giving me and gifting to us. And that matters. Your money matters. So that's my preference. Camping therapy, hello, there you are. And that's why in a very quick boondocking with Boomer, hello to you. Glad you're here. All right, so I was talking about people that matter to this channel. Every single person in here today matters. And I want you to always know, if you can't give a dime or you give 100 dimes or whatever, you all to me matter, just that you came here. And I mean that in seriously. All right, so back to Bob. So Bob opened me up to this larger community of people. And I took all your names down and I came and saw your videos, made deeper connections with some than with others, but I enjoy anybody who I have made friends with at one level or another. I really do like you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this, and I love doing this. And so this larger community, secondly, I'm going to tell you who's next on that lineage is daydream about nice things. Daydreams about nice things. Gary at Daydreams About Nice Things also opened up this larger community. It's way early in the morning because he's on the East Coast. So I am on the West Coast. We're 3 hours apart. And so I'm not able to get to his shows much right now because I've been really struggling with pain at night, and sometimes I don't go to sleep till 3 or 4 in the morning. And because I sit a lot now doing this. So the trade-off, oh, there's my son. The trade-off is that I have pain later in the day. So anyways, I am excited that I have met all of you. So Gary gave me a bunch of people, opened me up. Proceeding Onward in America, POA, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. And I enjoy that he Gary's show is hysterically funny sometimes, and he has a whole crew of people working for him up on screen with him every day. I'm not that. I just haven't been able to get to that point. So that is the lineage of how I met, really how I met everybody, beginning with Bob to Dee to Bob to Gary. So all 4 of those channels are instrumental in me getting the, that is where the 1,000+ people now, 20 almost, well, closing in closer to 1,300 than 2,000, I think. And I believe right now today we have 1,248 friends. So I'm excited about that. So the next thing I want to talk about is right here, Northwoods RV Life. Corey and Lori at Northwoods RV Life. Corey and Lori matter. Okay, so Corey, one morning, I'm going to get my prop ready. One morning, I had passed up an opportunity twice on Daydream About Nice Things in the morning because, again, like I said, he's on very early and I'm asleep. And so I would get up late and see him. Well, I passed up 2 opportunities when I was brand new to come up on his show and say hi and meet everybody. And who knows what that passed up for me. I now really understand that was a problem. And so, and oh, by the way, if you feel so inclined, share out the channel on your own community tab or other social media if you want to, because I like meeting new people. So I was like, when I realized what I had done by giving up that opportunity, I didn't let another opportunity pass me by. And one morning I popped into Northwoods RV Life. If somebody could please drop their channel link, they are instrumental in another way. So it was early in the morning and I was still in my jammies. I was jammied up. And I thought, what do you do? I had morning hair. Now, yes, I do have short hair, but when I wake up in the morning, it's really sticking out oddly in weird shapes because I lay on my face and my left side of my head. And so I grabbed a hat. And I put on a hat, okay? I put on, oops, I am all askew. I put on a hat. This is why I shouldn't probably be trusted with a camera. I put on a hat and I went on his live stream. And I introduced myself and I talked about the channel. And nice thing about short hair is it goes back into place easy. And so he gave me that opportunity. And then from there, he did a quick channel assessment. And Corey is a master at this, by the way, one of a few. There's a couple others I'm going to talk about here. So Corey from Northwoods RV Life. What he did is he gave me the opportunity to have the channel looked at, and he built my little logo, our little car and our banner. What I did is he had me go find some art that I liked, and I love the little car that happens to be our banner, and on our banner and on our logo. And he for nothing, he turned it into our logo and our banner. I paid $10 for it out on the web, and which is fine. Somebody made it. They deserve to get covered for it. And so I want to give that respect to them for doing that, because that's the centerpiece of what everybody sees when they look at our any of our channel stuff. So thank you, Corey. Corey is a master also at the whole YouTube building part of it, and monetization and all of the things that go into this. So really, I cannot thank Corey enough. I appreciate him. I will always shout him out. I will always tell people he knows what he's doing. So thank you so much, Corey. And again, if you could every so often drop his link, I would appreciate it. And then from there are a couple of other people that I really, really appreciate for what they've done for us. And that is, I'm going to go back up here and find his channel. Oh, I know he's here. I just got to get up to the top where he was. It is Backroads Nomad, right here. Backroads Nomad. My PayPal link is misspelled. See what I mean? I don't know how it's. Oh, I see. I see. I'll fix it. Darn it. And I was doing so well. He has endless amount of information about how to be a nomad, right down to the tools, you know, his go bag, things that you really need to have on the road. This is the guy who knows how to do that. So every so often, if somebody would be willing to drop his link, please do. And go check his channel out. If you don't know Backroads Nomad, and you want to be on the road at all, part-time, weekender, this is still the guy to make connection with. He has endless amount of information. And yes, this is a massive cup of coffee. All right. So we're at Backroads Nomad. The other person, and I'm going to scroll down here real fast to the bottom of my chat to see if he's in here yet, is Aaron from, I'm remembering all these names from scratch, and I guess I made a mistake in that. Aaron Jemison, that's one of the channel names, Aaron Jemison, ARONJEMISON. So if somebody could drop Aaron's link, please. He's going to try and be here, and I don't see him yet. Catherine Cook, hello. I don't know if I said hello. I'm just glad you came by. Thank you so much for coming in. And so now I want to talk about another part of the channel. So Aaron Jemison, again, my son has to go do something, so I want to have him in before I finish about Aaron. All right. Come on over, son. This is The Modern King is his channel, and he is my one and only child. He's bigger than a child today, but Brent has...
Only today.
Brent is really one of those unseen pieces of my channel. He helps me make things work. I don't know how to do things that are technical in many ways. He explains them to me. He helps me figure it out, and he shows me, and he's very patient with me because, by the way, I'm 59 years old, and I was not born in the age of technology. When I went to college, before he was born, I was in my early 30s when I went to college once at Chemeketa Community College in Salem. We didn't even have Windows. It was DOS. And so I swear, I mean, we did come from the dark ages.
What did you guys use for Windows? Sheets?
I actually had to use we used a word processor. We used a word processor, and
I thought you meant real Windows, and I was like, how does a building not have real windows?
Wow, you were off base there, buddy.
So I'm glad you clarified.
Okay, it was Windows, the
For
operating
the
system.
computer, yes.
Okay, not Windows. All right, so back on track. Yeah, so he is a gigantic piece of how we do this here, and he always supports me, and he always cares about us, and he helps us in many ways, many unseen ways. So I want to ask him very quickly, what do you think about us? We're going on the road part-time, full part-time, whatever it turns out to be. Can't be soon enough, right?
Right. But it's gonna be rough to not like have you and Dad like just literally 40 feet away, you know? But it was nice when you guys were gone those 2 days, you know, and it was nice and peaceful and quiet. It was really, really nice, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys down in Arizona. And by seeing you down there, I mean on video.
Okay.
Because I don't do Arizona. That's too hot.
Well, it's not as hot there as you might think during this time of year.
Yep.
That's true. All right. Well, I won't keep you from your other duties.
That's the only question you have for me?
Well, yes. Is there anything you would say we may have problems with?
Yeah. You and Dad tend to butt heads sometimes on certain issues. And that's how, I don't know how y'all are going to do in a little RV.
We did very well. The 3 days we were...
Okay, 3 days.
4 days we were gone.
So my main concern is, you know, how are you guys going to handle those kind of situations in such a small space? And then on top of that, you have a 19-year-old beagle who, you know, did not really like once you went for those 3 days.
So that'll be another thing to talk about here in a little bit.
And so, you know, I understand that dogs will just get used to it, and that's just how it has to be. But she's 19, and so it just worries me a little bit with that.
Okay.
Is Patty and your marriage.
Well, your dad and I have been married for 30, I believe, Priscilla, we've been married for 35 years, right? You've been married for 37. So I believe Richard and I have been married 35 years. And by the way, Brent, we were very happy the 3 days, 4 days we were gone. It was very peaceful on our end too, by the way.
Great.
Yep.
I'm just saying, it was peaceful.
Okay. All right. So any other things you might like to add about the channel, or if you've seen any growth in my skills?
Yes. I mean, you can just look at your video, the first entrance you had, you know.
I threw the camera. The camera ended up upside down. It was a horrid experience.
Well, I'm talking about the one where I said, wait, are you Lucretia and you're Richard? Because I didn't hear it from the first 6 times you told me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that, and you were laughing, that intro is like my favorite part of your whole channel. And I think that it kind of shows what, you know, you guys want to be about, and that's like having fun while
Yes.
still being serious, and like, you know, just trying to live out the rest of your few years you got left, you know, traveling.
I'm 59. It is not like I've got one foot in the grave today.
It's sooner than not.
Okay. Well,
so I worry as well. To be honest, I was just talking to Josh about this. Josh is my husband, who I married last month. But in fact, right here in front of this fireplace, as some of you have seen. But anyways, you know, I was talking to him that it's like rough, because what if something happens to you guys in like Kansas or in like Missouri? You know, let's say you get into a fatal car accident. What happens? How does somebody bring bodies home? I don't know how to plan a funeral. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I worry about stuff like that.
okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing, and I'll talk with you another time. No.
She said, "Bye, chat. You don't get to have a comment."
No, actually, he's talking about real good, real important stuff. And I'm wearing. I have one of these alert necklaces because I've got some medical
Is
issues.
it for attitude?
For attitude. Oh boy, Brent. And then I also have a bracelet on because I take a blood thinner and I have to. So, and then our medical stuff. So they're addressing some of those issues. I will here in a few minutes. One of the things is that we will have our medical stuff accessible by EMTs because he's correct. Anything can happen. One of us could fall and be seriously injured or have a heart attack. Things happen to people.
There's literally robberies turned homicides. Dad watches those all the time. So I just literally, I worry about that stuff because, you know, what happens if something happens to you guys or you guys just go missing?
Okay, well, we actually have.
So there's a lot of concerns. I have a list mounting.
Yes, Sylvie Mary.
But, you know, this mounting list of concerns about death on the road is like severe. I've seen RVs go through some stuff on YouTube, okay? So just be careful. I would worry about, especially someone else was driving. But, so, I'm just waiting for the call or the video. We ripped the bumper off the RV, you know?
There's other bumpers to put on. So, okay.
And what happens if you break down completely and you don't have $3,000 to buy something you need, you know? So there's all these things that I actually have real concern about.
I did not know it was going to go this direction, guys.
Well, you're welcome. I'm talking about stuff that most people's children probably think but don't talk about.
That
because
could be.
Who wants to talk about this kind of stuff with their parents? But you have a great opportunity to maybe open some doors for people and their families.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want everyone to know that, like, that's just one of my concerns that I think about, because, you know, it's not like you guys are just going on a quick road trip to Salem and back. You know what I mean? You guys are going to be going to a whole other state, you know.
Different region. We will always be in the Northwest or the Southwest. Really, that's the only. That's another topic where we're going to go. But we do appreciate your concern, Brent. We love you. We're trying to abate any problems by having a plan in place for medical issues. I do. I have medical issues, so I need to make sure everything's covered. I even have orders that I'm carrying with me to be able to go to a lab, a Quest lab. And I know that the Southwest, Arizona, has a lot of Quest labs. See, I'm thinking ahead. I didn't live for 59 years by not being able to think through issues. So,
but I also, to be honest, another big concern I have with you guys on the road around this time especially, you guys are planning on leaving around a very specific political event. And I have concern. So does, you know, I don't want to bring in politics, but I have concern about those kind of things. You know, with you guys going through like states that are going to have big upheavals over this election. So I worry about that because you guys are just trying to have fun and live your life.
Yes.
So
Kaylee says, I'm glad you're so realistic and not shy about discussing these issues with mom and dad. Good for you, for all of you. Yes, Kaylee. So we will talk more in depth with him later on about these.
We need a plan, a binder, you know. I need passwords. I need to know.
Oh, you know my password.
So I'm just saying, like, okay, you have 17 passwords.
Not anymore. One.
So, don't say that on chat. One password for everything. Gosh.
Woo! See, I may not be trusted with the driving at times.
By the way, our home security code is
okay.
My bank account.
You're too funny, Brent.
And Czar is he's very happy that Patty's gonna have a nice time. Come here, say hi. Say hi, you love.
This is our big boy friend. I love this dog so much.
This is my baby who will be keeping me and my husband company.
Zara's precious.
And I worry that he's going to miss Patty a lot.
Yeah, he's going to miss Patty. And when we come home, he's going to be super happy. Because it's not like we're leaving forever, people. Thank you, Roy and Becky's Travels. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say to everyone, it means so much to me that you guys really do this for her and my dad. But you guys are really sweet to her and caring, and you give her some support. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Brent.
I love you guys, and I wish you guys the best, really.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I would never want my mom and dad to fail.
Oh, we won't fail. As long as they stay away from capitals, they should be fine. You cannot just roll over and stop living because of crazy people. 110%. And Priscilla knows me well enough to know that is not even remotely a part of my personality. So where was I? I was thinking Aaron Jemison.
That went all over the place. So.
I know. I appreciate Brent's. Brent, can you make that a little bit straighter? Just the tape. I think it's the tape. Sorry. We tried to. It's just not there. That's better. All right. Perfect. So, truthfully, trying to thank the people who really have helped me figure this out a little bit. I only know a little bit of this process. And so I was at Aaron Jemison. And what Aaron Jemison, if somebody could drop his link and I'll explain more. He's helped me with thumbnails. And I'm terrified of Aaron. Aaron is a very tough man. And Aaron is somebody who knows what he's doing, like Corey from Northwoods RV Life. Aaron is brilliant at what he does. Internet is horrible. I hear you. We're barely hanging on. All right. Well, if I lose you, I know. I understand. So Aaron Jemison and Roy and Becky is going to be in. I'm coming to you in just a second, Roy and Becky. So Aaron Jemison really called me on the carpet about thumbnails. So I was complaining. Complaining about something. And Aaron just basically said, you know, I've told you guys what to do and none of you take my advice, or, you know, most of you don't take my advice. That's in a nutshell. I'm just paraphrasing Aaron's words. He was a little kinder, but Aaron is just straightforward to the point. And I actually appreciate that because I kind of communicate like that too. So, but he scares me because he's so Aaron. So anyways, that's Aaron's impact on my channel, on our channel, mine and Richard's channel. It is Richard's too. He is a private partner, a silent partner. That's it. Richard's the silent partner, and he does a physical work. So that's Aaron. And if you don't know who Aaron Jemison is, he has a million how-to videos. Everything you can imagine that needs done in an RV. If you're new like we are and you know what the hell you're doing, go check him out because Aaron knows what to do. Corey and Lori know what to do. So that's them. And there's somebody else that just popped in the chat that is on my list. Now, I've made a good mental list, don't you think? I've actually done fairly well. I can't believe it. So Roy and Becky's Travels, they're down where we're going. They're down where we want to be. I wish I was there right this moment, but it did not work out that way. And we'll talk about that. But they're another channel. First of all, I adore Roy and Becky. You guys are a hysterical couple. You're fun. You're interesting. I love your hikes that you do, and you do them in parts. You show bits and pieces of the hike. You break it up so it's not so long. And I really like that. And you're coming from a real person. You know, nothing staged. All right. Nothing staged. So I appreciate that. And you know what? I'll probably never get to hike like you're hiking, Roy and Becky. I'll never be able to do that again because of my disability. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to fix this banner for just a moment because I do, again, let me see. That should be an I and not an R. That should be a U. See, backroads nomad, burning up the roads. All right, save and scroll. This is another one I got from Aaron Jemison. I stole this right from him. If you see someone here you don't know, note who they are. That's what I did. I'm just saying, that is exactly what I did. And after the stream, go over and check them out. Please. I think you all know each other, but if you don't, get to know them. All right. I'm going to put that back up. Yep. All right. So I'm going to look at the chat here for a minute before I go on. Hiking. Yeah, love hiking. I probably will never be able to do any intense hiking. I will have to use a walker. So that's going to be another chat here in a moment. And where are we at? Oh, we're okay. We're hitting about what I thought I would do. So people like Kathy's Outdoor Adventures. Please check Kathy out. Kathy has beautiful hiking videos. And, you know, so I get to live through people who can actually walk without a walker. Kaylee, Lucky Dog Productions moderator. Content idea. You're an awesome moderator. Video on how to be a good moderator. That's actually fantastic idea, Kaylee. You are giving her great idea. And we've got the other half of Burning Up the Roads, walking through, checking the fire. I like vicariously, hike, oh, there you go, Maggie. You hike vicariously through Roy. Yep, Roy and Kathy's Outdoor Adventures. I did it wrong again. All right, so I guarantee I'm missing some people. I'm just going through here. And one of the supporters I get a lot of feedback from is Bernie. She sends me some great ideas and some good thoughts. And so she is extremely, I really appreciate that. And I also want to make sure that I comment about this. I hope, and it really is my hope, that people know that I'm very open to any feedback you have. If you think I actually want to know and need to know, what do you like that we do? What do you not like so much? What do you think we might add to our litany of things? And what do you just don't like at all and you hope we stop doing or never do? Those are things we need to know. As long as you're not being mean, I don't mind. I don't consider it negative. I have learned that constructive feedback is imperative to building something decent. And some people don't take constructive feedback well. I think we all know people like that. That is not me. I wouldn't be on YouTube if I thought I had thin skin. Which brings me to the conversation about the channel. So a couple things I want to talk about is where we're at. So y'all know, obviously, we've met the criteria to be monetized. What that means for us is that, you know, we are looking to continue to build on our channel, to do different things, to be able to bring you new and different content. And so I probably will be moving away from three, and I don't know how I'm going to do it because I'm actually addicted to these. Thank you very much for dropping links, Kaylee. And thank you very much, Sonia. I appreciate that very much. And so I'm going to be moving away from probably 3 live streams a week, so that I can become more, what is the right word? I can become more consistent about doing video work, doing the editing, because I'm not, obviously. Thrifty Angela, hello. How are you doing today? Glad you're here. So glad you're here. And so I think that's what I'm going to be doing. And I will, either I will be coming up with a video about that to be real clear with people about what's going on. You've never done a live? Oh, honey, why don't you hang out and come up on channel with me here in a few minutes? And I'd love to chat with you. And I would, my goal is in the second hour to be highlighting channels. Jim Bertrand, I love the way you talk to us like a sister and how you interact with others. It's not easy to speak to virtual crowds so seamlessly. No, it is not. It is, but I look and I see on the side here, I can see who's in here. And it's like, I know people who have channels that have other people really handling everything other than what they're talking about. I don't feel comfortable with that for me. I want to know, who is Thrifty Angela? Well, I know Angela loves to have fun at night on channels. I haven't been able to be in many late night channels things lately, but that's because I'm watching other people's videos now. I'm really trying to get into your videos so that I can support you in whatever way you need supported. So that is important to me. Done one of my own. It's okay. So it's hard at first. I'm not going to say it's simple. I remember when RV DJ, when Sonia first, she wasn't going to do any lives, and she'd been on lives, but then she, like Box Van D, pulled up her big girl pants, put on her big girl boots, and jumped in. And she's doing wonderful. Sonia has great live streams, fun, especially because she works like a real person all week long. And she has a real job during the winter and whatever. And she only has weekends to do her thing. And so she packs a lot into that. And now doing more content, by the way, which will pay off in the long run. So I'm going to have to look at the schedule a little more deeply. Our Fatima Jaffrey, thank you. Thank you for coming. Box Van D says, I love constructive feedback, but not destructive feedback. 110% on that with you, D. It's, I got some constructive feedback I'm going to talk about in general. Thrifty Angela, also been on lives, but never done one of my own for my own channel. It scares me too. You know, that is so common. I was terrified. You know, I was terrified, Angela. I did not like it. But here's one of the things that helped me, and it probably is not going to help anybody else. But I belong to an organization where I learned to quit drinking. You know, I've shared. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober 25 years. Actually, on Valentine's Day will be 26 years. Haven't had a drink of alcohol in 26 years. I don't do other drugs. Okay, so I used to go to these particular places to talk about staying sober with people, and I sit at a place every day, 5 to 6 days a week, where I looked at the group of people just by accident. It's what was most comfortable for me because of my back was this very hard platform rather than sitting in a chair. I needed hard platform, and I would sit there and I looked out at the crowd of people, and I talked about very personal things, you know, when like happens when you're learning how to not drink. And so that's how I kind of got my not so fearfulness of being in front of people talking. And then also I went to school. I went to the University of Oregon 10 years ago, and I got my bachelor's degree in family and human services. And we had to be, you have to work in groups, and you have to learn how to give presentations to groups, because most of the workforce in the kind of work I was training to do or trained to do and actually did, you had to be able to talk to groups. I was an alcohol and drug counselor. I stood in front of groups of people, by the way, who got DUIs and did not want to be there. And in one case, I'll share, I could say this very tactfully, during a break, some person didn't like what I had said, apparently, although it was required to say, because there's the first 12 weeks of that particular thing, you're required to educate people about the woes of getting DUIs. And we took a break, and I came back in, and I had this big chalkboard, and some artistically inclined person drew a big picture of the male anatomy. I didn't react. I just commented that someone is using a really sad example for the male anatomy. I did not skip a beat. So I got a couple opportunities to learn how to talk to people. Nomadic Rat Pack is on my list also. I'm going to jump over to Troy for a moment. So those of you that don't want to, that are afraid but might like to do it, you know, I'll help you. I mean, I now know how to do a live stream. I'm not a professional live streamer, but I know how to do a live stream, basically. Troy decided we needed solar. And he has said this, so it's nothing that I'm sharing out of school. I'm not sharing anything there's, you know, that he doesn't want shared. But he has fronted us our solar system. And we went and picked it up the other day, and I drove that RV towards Central Oregon and drove back in the dark. He was right behind me, and he said I did good. But anyways, he did not have to do that. I mean, that still, could you please drop Troy's link, Kaylee, if you haven't already? I'm sure you probably have. Troy, Christian and Troy, I met both of them, and Richard and I went over and got it. And Troy is phenomenal that somebody's trusting us. Again, gifting us something we are paying back. You know, he is not giving us that by any means, but he set up a solar system that is fantastic for under $500. And we will have the opportunity to pay him back shortly. So I met someone who trusts me with their gifting in a way of some property. So Troy is a fantastic person, and another person that, you know, he's not doing videos right now, but he will. And when Troy does, he's going to be someone to watch because he's brilliant. He went through our RV. I didn't really even anticipate he was going to do that, but he noticed that we had our pilot light. In our case, we have a 1991 RV. There's a pilot light you have to light for the hot water heater. And it was a week and a half since we've been back, and it was still on. And so I think he assumed he needed to check out the RV and give us some education. It should not have been still on. Thank you, Troy. He checked everything, and he assessed a situation I was concerned about. I'm just checking my name there. Burning up the rose. Okay, it is right now. So Troy went over our RV really well, and looked at the refrigerator because it's more of a freezer. And so that was it was just completely, didn't have to do it, but he took time to do it. Didn't have to do it, but you did. New Beginnings with Booty and Cindy. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's amazing. And he needs to, I told him what he needs to do. He needs to start a business as the boss and have people putting these together for someone. But there's risks in that because people are always, you know, somebody's not happy with something. And so that was a blessing beyond my ever imagination. Now we just have to figure out how to get it on because everybody here is disabled to one degree or another. Richard is recovering, but they're big. They're like 5 feet tall and about 3 or 3.5 feet wide. Lucretia did that little thing, fix the refrigerator. Is it still freezer? Richard has checked it and it's still like 10 degrees. So I don't know what to do. I guess we just buy small amounts of food when we use the, you know, I don't know what to do yet. We really have to figure it out. So that is, you know, some of the people. The rest of you are just, so the other person I need to point out immediately is right here. Kaylee, she has a she does not have a content channel, but she should. I'm sorry, I'm going to use the word should, which I try not to do, but you should have a channel. You could teach people how to be moderator. There's so many things you can do, Kaylee. You are a fantastic moderator. I love anybody who moderates for me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you help me not have to pay attention so much to the chat. You know, you're following my, you know, my asks, and it's wonderful. But Kaylee goes way above and beyond. She will notify me when people are on. Sometimes, a lot of times, she notifies me, and lets me know so and so is on, because she knows who I follow a lot and who I really look up to. And so I'll get a notification about you know, who's on. And sometimes I'm just deep inside of something and I just haven't looked up. And so I'm so grateful to you, Kaylee. I don't have words to explain how much. I respect you, I love you, and I want to see you flourish in whatever it is you decide to do. And someday I'm going to have you up here behind your bubble. And if we could do that today, that would be great. All right, so where does the channel go from here? So Richard and I, literally physically, where do we go from here? Our first trek will be down to Quartzsite. We're still trying to get, you know, everything in place to be able to do that. We can't do it before Wednesday if in fact we get to go. And I'm holding my breath, but I believe we'll get to go Wednesday. And if we start out on the road, I will do a quick live so you can come along with us. Backroads Nomad. I remember when Kaylee first became a mod, she didn't think she was going to be good enough to do it, but she is awesome. She is fabulous. She moderates for Backroads. She moderates for CVK, Camper Van Kevin, who I have had the privilege to interview, and I absolutely adore him, and I wish he was here, because I just do. Gone Boondocking, David from Gone Boondocking, who I've also had the privilege to interview, along with Backroads Nomad. These are three people who I've learned so much from about being a nomad or boondocking. But apparently not enough, because I didn't know to turn off the pilot light. So Troy saved our butts. All right, so what I'd like to do is, finish up about where we're going. So physically, Quartzsite is the only thing I have on my horizon. And then we will come back. We will be gone about 2 weeks now, because I need to be back here by about the 14th, which is Richard's birthday. He actually will turn 62 on Valentine's Day. And I will have my 26-year sobriety birthday on the same day. So, and by the way, I've been married 36 years, not 35. And I know that because my little sister knows, she knows how many years she's been married. So I calculate my years from her years. She's been married 2 years longer than me. I haven't seen my sister Patricia Hemmerly or Nancy Renard in here. I just wanted to make sure they hadn't popped in. All right, lots of people are in Quartzsite. I know everybody, well, not everybody I want to meet, but many content creators there. And that's, you know, that's the Mecca. That's the word. That's the Mecca. And then at the end of the month, so there is a gathering right now, or getting ready to start, or it's a gathering of the Cool Kids camp. Papa Drew, and some other people. He started it, but there's a lot of people camping together, getting to know each other, hanging out. Yes, Priscilla Hughes, I will do it COVID responsibly. I don't want to get it. So yes, I will wear a mask. Yes, I will wash my hands. And no, I won't hug people, even though I love to hug people. I'm disappointed too. We're just really trying to get, we're just really trying to get a little bit more financially stable, which we'll have a better idea of coming up in a few days. I'm still here, just meal prepping. That's my little sister. I love my little sister. Priscilla is really my best friend. besides my husband, my closest best friend is my little sister, Priscilla. I would take a bullet for my little sister. I have 5 sisters, 2 have passed. I miss them. I wish they were here to celebrate. My sister Annette, who's been gone the longest, she was older than me by about 8 or 9 years, something like that. She would be in our vehicle. We couldn't get her out. I tell you, my sister Annette would be going with us. And she's short enough, she would have fit on the little bed that is the dinette. Or we could have shoved her up in the overhead compartment. So I miss her tremendously. We had more fun than, you know, we had a lot of fun together. And I miss her with all my heart. And she would be our biggest supporter. Besides my dad, who is gone, as you all know. I wish he was here to see it. I wish he was here to see our RV. He would have been asking us, get me in there so I can go too. We couldn't have done it, but he would be so happy. And then there's my sister Linda. I will not talk about this without mentioning my sister Linda. She's the oldest. And Linda, and I'm trying really hard. I don't want to cry. I'm happy. I'm very happy. But you know what? This is a real life. I'm a real life. And this adventure that we're on is a real life adventure. And so my oldest sister Linda passed 4 years ago, or 5. I think this year will be 4 years. This July will be 4 years. And so Linda she supported everything I did. And she was much older than me. She was about 13 or 15 years older. But we were like me and her and Priscilla were very close. And we're close to our other sister, Nancy, who's also, she's next oldest to in line, but now the oldest. But Linda and Priscilla and I were very close. And so she was a gigantic supporter of everything I did too. And so it's a sad, there will always be a little sadness that they don't get to be in this fun, exciting adventure. Arthur in Oregon, hello, glad you are here. And so I just needed to acknowledge Annette and Linda. And the other person would be my nephew, who passed 4 years ago from suicide. And I'm going to do a dedication show for Jimmy. He would have loved something like this. So I'm missing a few people in my life that would be so excited to be involved in this. But that is part of life. You're a hugger too. I know you've talked about that, Dee. You're a hugger too, and it'll be hard, but wear a mask. Wear a mask. Yes, ma'am. All right, so we're through that. And we've got a few people back in here, so I'm going to say this one more time. Oh, so I'll talk about the channel a little bit more. So our next idea is getting to quartzite, and we'll know Wednesday if we can do that. Oh my! Be praying for us, please. I want to meet Dee really bad. And so many more people. All right, so anybody who has become a content creator, I know Priscilla, a funny story. So my sister passed, and then 6 months later, her husband passed. My brother-in-law, he's like a dad to me, Larry. And he never intended on getting an RV. However, he catered to my sister tremendously. And she wanted an RV. And so when they were down here about 10 years ago, she wanted to go look at used RVs. And they did have the means to buy a nice RV. And so I told her privately, I said, he's never going to buy an RV. And she said, well, let's wait and see. So I said, I'm not riding with you guys. We're riding in our own vehicle because I'm not going to listen to the conversation when he decides not to buy. Journey along with Shannon. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And I was right. I said, when we got back, she was, frustrated. I said, do you not know your husband? Because I told you he wasn't buying an RV today. Hello, Victoria, another wonderful, wonderful person. So the second thing is about the channel. I don't know. I need to look at my phone. Memberships. So I'm not pushing memberships right now. I'm still in the process of figuring some things out about that. And it was brought to my attention by someone who patronizes, is a member, or is a subscriber. Let me rephrase that. Is a subscriber, and is a great supporter of us. But they were very confused about why, why we're doing this. First of all, I will never ask you for money. If you ever feel like you want to give money, please, that's part of, we've built the channel to the point that YouTube says, Lucretia and Richard, you can now monetize, which means you can do the things that allows you to do. I will never ask for money. And I really, this is a very big struggle. I still got 29 people in here. And nobody likes to talk about this stuff, but it's, it's kind of important because I want you to know. I prefer PayPal. He brought it to my attention, which I kind of already knew, but YouTube, if you super chat me and super sticker me, or something else, they take 30%. And if you're on an Apple device, they take 30%. So if what really started out where I felt hurt a little bit, because it felt like he didn't support that we'd gotten to this point, because by the way, it isn't easy. Getting you to watch 4,000 hours of YouTube, our YouTube stuff, was not an easy task. It is not easy for anybody, to get that particular hurdle is high. And I now understand why. They want people who are genuinely committed. So I've come to think that PayPal is a better steward of your money. Yes, and also, like the people who super chatted us today, we will not get till the end of February, which is fine. I didn't get into this for money to start with, so but it is part of the process. I can't deny that it's not there. And so, yes, we're new. Yes, we're just starting out. Yes, someone had to blow out our pilot light. But I'm here to tell you, if you have an old vehicle, you may have a pilot light that's on. You might be helped by something I say and the mistakes that we made. So I believe it's just a better steward of whatever it is you feel inclined to share with us, to gift to us. And I don't believe, and I don't know if YouTube's listening to me, but I don't believe them getting 60% off the top is a fair stewardship of what you decide to give me. It's like like somebody told me today, if I want to give you $30, Lucretia, they're going to get $10 of it right off the top. I believe no. There goes my math disinclination. And so it's a big chunk. 30% is $3. And 60% is $6. I think that's how it works. So the person who I've been in contact with, who wrote me, we had an exchange of about 3 emails. I appreciated it. And even though at first I wanted to cry because I thought, he's not happy. Why is he not happy? Does he not know that I spent days in my pajamas making friends with people? Does he not understand that I bought this beautiful $400 camera so that I could start taking pictures, learn how to use, and bring you better content? No, he doesn't know that. And by the way, he can still question. And I encourage people who feel that way, don't contribute, because I don't want you to ever feel like you've contributed and I haven't earned it. Rich and I have not earned it. All right, so that's the conversation about money. I'm really hoping I don't have to talk about it again, because we've now lost about 6 people. It's not comfortable. Trust me, I'm sitting here talking to you about money, and it's not comfortable. But I hope I've explained it better. I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to waste money. And I think I support. So the second part of this whole thing is about YouTube. I am grateful to YouTube. I am very grateful that they allow us, I'm a nobody. I don't know nothing. I have some other skills, but I don't know nothing about YouTubing, about traveling, and that's what I want to, that's what we're going to do. So YouTube deserves to get paid back. They built a platform. They deserve to get paid back. I'm for free market economy, guys. And so I watch, by the way, if you're a content creator, I do watch your videos with the commercials. I watch your commercials because that's how you get paid, and YouTube gets some of that. So, and they get part of super chats. I don't know that I'll undo super chatting, but I'm going to always encourage people to do the PayPal instead of super chatting. If you want, I like to do PayPal. I love to give people a super sticker, especially the super stickers. I love the bump fist. I love the coffee cup. I usually, for Roy and Becky, since it's morning time, I give them a cup of coffee. It's cute. I don't know that it's a good stewardship of the money, though. So anyways, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So after this video, after this chat, when it's up for you, if you could please go there and tell me what you think about that idea of really more encouraging the PayPal over the super chat stuff because of the stewardship of the money. The person who I've been in very lengthy conversation with about this made me think twice about it. Okay, so the other part of this, and I really didn't want to do this much about this stuff because it's already an hour and a half, is about the memberships, channel memberships. They did not feel like new people really have earned their bones, if you will, to be asking for money in a membership, even, like a 99¢. And also because they don't want to come to the channel and feel left out when they're coming to belong to, nor do they want me to say, I want your money. Well, that is never going to be how I feel about it. And I'm sorry if it's ever come across that way, because it's not. They felt like being so new and not really knowing what we're doing, we didn't really have a right to ask for money or by having membership levels. And they were very respectful. I appreciate it, and it truly made me think twice about things. And so I'm going to say that I am thinking twice about how to do that. It probably will. I will continue to offer memberships. I have them already approved by YouTube. I just haven't set it up completely on my channel. And I'm glad that he stopped me in my tracks so that I could think that through more thoroughly. So with that, I'm going to stop talking about this stuff that is real part of being a YouTube creator. And I'm going to drop down the invite, because I know people got other things to do than listen to me talk all day. And I'd like to have people, if you're in the chat and you are so inclined to come up and say hello, maybe give some feedback. If you are an experienced content creator, I'd love to have that conversation about this particular issue. I know it's sensitive, but I think pretending like it's not part of a channel is foolishness, because I want you to know that if there's a question you have of me or Richard, you can always ask it. So, or if you want to come and talk about your channel, because you're the people who make this possible for us to be doing this, I would love to have you come up and say hi, share about your channel, or anything you'd like to talk about. And with that, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. And by the way, I do think of you guys as family. I'm sorry, Priscilla, but I do. I think of them as family, shirt-tailed relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, little sisters, little brothers, big sisters, big brothers. But you'll always be first in my book, Priscilla. And that will make me cry if I talk about that. So we're not going to, because I just love her. But I dropped the link, and I hope somebody wants to talk about their channel or give me advice. I need advice. Really, I do. And I adore Rometown Girl. I know I don't know if you're still here or not. Hope you are. Journey along with Shannon. I'm just going to go back through here, kind of make sure I haven't missed anybody. Fatima, I said hello to. Angela, Victoria. Victoria has Victoria's channel. So she does Victoria actually is one of the very genuinely sweetest people on YouTube. I'm sorry, but it's true. I know everybody isn't here is sweet and kind. I've not run across one negative person. Even the feedback I got, I don't count it as negative. I count it as good feedback and good questions. And it caused me to think less about myself and more about you. Victoria does on Wednesday nights, I believe it is, Victoria does a karaoke night. And she would love to have you come and participate. And unfortunately, you can't use actual music. All you can do is sing. But by the way, you don't have to sing. I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, Vicki, but Vicki, I believe, is allowing, like, if you want to do a poem, read a poem. So Vicki, on Wednesday nights, I believe it is, has got a karaoke going on. And let's see who else. RV DJ, again. Hello, wherever Wandering Gypsy Vanner is. There you are. You're in here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm so appreciative. Kathy, I believe Kathy is your actual name. Come to visit and I'll install your solar. Wow. Well, that would be fun. And you're in Idaho, I believe. You're not that far from us. There's 2 panels. I think we're going to have 650 watts of solar. There's 2 5-foot by 3.5 feet panels. We have them shoved back in the bedroom, but I believe Richard and I can get them up on the bed. It's just that I don't want to drive through snow. I would so love to come and visit you and meet you in person. And if it were not of snowy season, you probably would be our first stop anywhere. But that is something for us to think about. I would love to come and, I know Richard would love to meet you. Oh, and tomorrow is Vicky's, where'd it go, Vicky? Vicky is having a birthday bash at 2 p.m. Pacific time. She's in Washington. So she is, I actually say Washington. Okay, that's how I actually say it. I'm trying to learn to say it the right way because there's no R in Washington. In Washington. There's no R in washing machine. It's washing machine. I add an R. I don't know why, but I always have. She's having a birthday party tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Please come and hang out with Vicki. She's a sweet, kind lady trying to build her channel. She has a goal. You know, she has something she would love to have. She doesn't drive. And she would like this motorized, for the lack of a better term, motorized vehicle. It even has a place for, I think, 4 people in it. And it's completely enclosed, covered. She could go to the store and buy groceries. It's like $14,000, I believe. It's a lot of money. And so please come and hang out with Vicki tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll be there. And we'll say happy birthday to Victoria. So to make sure I haven't missed anybody, I'm going to check my phone here. So Kathy, I believe we're heading to Quartzsite Wednesday. If we in fact get to go, it's Wednesday because I'm closing in on a window. So back to things that are happening for the channel. Because of Kaylee letting me know that there was Bob Wells was looking for video RVs to video. I'm supposed to be interviewed by Bob Wells and our RV videoed a week from today. So we will be cutting it very, very short if we go. We can be there by Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That would be 4 days of travel we were allowing ourselves. We're going to do it. We're going to make it a surprise. If we go, we're just going to we're going to go live Wednesday morning once we hit the road. It would really be sad to miss out on that opportunity. I know that Dee's channel blew up. Dee already had a wonderful channel going. I think she was at like 5,000. Dee was at 5,000, something like that. Or 2,000, and it blew up to 5,000. Somebody, it was a massive amount. And also the other person was Living Life with Letty. Living Life with Letty. One day she was at several thousand, and then I believe she had like 10,000 after Bob did her interview, and it was aired. So anytime a person gets the opportunity to be interviewed by Bob and introduced to the community from his end, to not take that is looking a gift horse in the mouth. I don't know a better way to say it. I'm going to drop that link again and hoping that somebody has second thought about coming up and sharing about their channel. Share a little bit about your channel. And again, I'd love to hear feedback about what you think might be. What would you like to see? Come up and tell us what you would like to see us doing. Where did she go? Sonia, the RV DJ. By the way, she's a great DJ. You're a great DJ. Sonia is now doing more content video. She was just, because she works like a normal human being at a job, at a place she doesn't, live. She has to go to work. So Sonia does her stuff on the weekends, and I think Monday nights or something like that. But Sonia is starting to do more content. I don't live in New Jersey. I love seeing all parts of this country. I love drive videos. I very much enjoy drive videos because I get to see places I've never been, and they make me want to go there. I'm hoping so bad in the next couple of years, the next 2 years, probably not this particular year, but 2022. It's so weird to be thinking in those terms. That fall of 2022, I would like to go be situated where I'm in the New England area and be able to see New England in the fall. And I would love to then be able to be, hopefully, I'm assuming that all of the medical issues around these world right now, the people will have been inoculated enough that we can hang out together. And I would like to be able to be see the Macy's Day Parade in New York. My mother, we watched it every Thanksgiving. Arthur in Oregon, I just want to tell you, the generator runs. We were under a half a tank of gas in the RV. See, we've tested that. We've been full. Our generator turns over. It just will not light. And Corey said what he thinks that it is. And I have no reason. But the part is not cheap. So, and we still don't know for sure. Oh, also, here's an idea. Tell me if this seems, appropriate. Okay, and I'm going to use the word appropriate and mannerly. So the person who I had conversation with about some of his concerns about the monetization of new channels, who don't really know a lot about what they're doing. Yes, Kaylee, there's so much, the whole colony area. I would love to spend like a summer back there and a fall, because I'd like to go to the reenactment stuff. I would like to see the New England states, and then I would like to be in New York for the Macy's Day Parade and Christmas in Times Square and New Year's Eve. Okay, I know it's crazy thought, but hey, I would have never thunk I would actually be sitting here in front of people with a monetized YouTube channel. I wouldn't have thought it, but here I am. So who knows? I may be in New England in 2022 in the summer and the fall. But then I'll be stuck there because we're not driving back in the snow. So come on, people. Somebody, you've got to come up here. I am taking you hostage. There's too many people in here. I know that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's nobody who needs to have a shout out in person. Closest way to Eugene's quartzsite, 1,009 miles. Yep. And I fit about 16 hours, depends on traffic and how long between your times to sleep. So my thought is we would probably, since we're like beelining for quartzsite, would be sleeping in rest stops. Sleeping in rest stops. And now I know how we can do that and recharge batteries, because we also got loaned to us oh my God, Troy, tell me if I'm saying it right. And I got to interview Arthur too. I got to interview so many cool people. I love this. This is allowing me to do some of what I'm trained to do and some of what I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I get to learn from you guys. I know I was talking about something, going to quartzsite. I figured it's about $400 in gas, and that's just for gas one way. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So, it doesn't matter, Vicky. Vicky, it does not matter. If you would feel better, I'll go wash my face. I'll mess up my hair a little, but you know, it's got to be in place a little bit. Yeah, many rest stops. So I believe we can do that. Okay, I've got somebody down there in the basement. All right, when you are ready to come up, give me a wave. Are you ready? Can you hear me? Okay, got it. All right, we are going to bring up New Beginnings with Booty and Cindy. Thank you for coming up.
I had to figure out how to get the voice off.
You've got a little soft voice. So I'm going to turn my computer up a little bit, the sound. So first of all, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us, first of all, a little bit about your channel and what you're doing and whatever?
Well, our channel is actually a little dormant. I mean, it's not real active at the moment, mainly because we have had some illnesses and I actually stopped doing filming. So I've kind of gotten a little bashful with the camera. I just got to work that courage back up. But I was watching Kevin's video earlier today, and I had corresponded to him in reference to his diet, things that he was doing. 2 years ago, I got diagnosed as a diabetic, and it just kind of really turned our whole life around. So I had to do a whole different diet thing. So I thought, I went through a reversal this year, and I had brought down my A1C, which was a 10 plus. I was almost comatized. And that's when they found out that I was a diabetic. But I had brought it down with a diet, and I read out my A1C came out at 5.2, which is not a diabetic anymore. But it's strictly because of the diet that I'm doing, which is not convenient, and it's a bit time consuming, but everything's fresh. So, and knocking out all the real sugars except for like maple syrup. I can have maple syrup as my sweetener.
Well, you've done great. I know. Do you have your YouTube on that we're going to get feedback? If you
I think I turned the volume off on it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's better. I don't hear it. So I was diabetic. I am considered diabetic too. I got diagnosed several years ago. I was like 7.8, somewhere down there. And I have my A1C down to 5.3 right now.
There you go.
So it hasn't, first of all, before I was almost 405 pounds when I first got diagnosed with that many years ago. And that is mainly, for me, that's mainly due to a back situation. My spine was crumbling. And and both knees were in horrid condition. I was a very athletic person when I was young. I played very hard, and I injured my body. And so I started on my own, started losing weight, and lost approximately a little over 100 pounds. So I got down to the point where it was 5.3, and now they don't know, I don't even have to check my blood sugar.
Yeah, I do mine periodically. I don't check it on a regular basis. Only if I'm feeling where I, a little jittery or I feel bad as far as what I've eaten or something. But I never did go on insulin or anything, and they wanted me to. But I just started the exercising and went into doing when I say exercises, I'm talking about walking.
Right.
And then doing with the diet, I was watching carbs at first, and I thought that was hard, watching the carbs. Well, this natural diet is much harder, but the carb diet was keeping me right around the 130s, 132 or something. And I wasn't feeling, I didn't have all that much energy. Mm-hmm. So I had heard about this doctor that's near us, and I went and checked with him, and got on some natural supplements, and then started all the natural foods, basically organic. And I reversed it. I mean, my primary doctor says he'd never had a patient do this. That he actually wanted me to, go on insulin. And I'm one that I do not like to take any kind of medication if I don't need to. Sure. So I was saying, you got to give me 3 weeks. But what arose the diabetes is I had a blockage and had to go into an emergency surgery, a stone blockage, not my blood.
Okay.
Surgery. And I had to go in and have emergency surgery and have that removed immediately. And then I've been on a chore for the last 2 years. And I mean, it's taken up a lot of time in preparing and stuff, because you can't eat out. I mean, you can, but it's like your cheat time, but you can't do the fast foods for sure.
Right.
So
it does make it more difficult. It does make it more difficult. My mother was uncontrollable diabetic. It in her case, it helped. It's one of the 2 things that cost her life. Uncontrolled diabetes, and she took insulin 3 times a day, and it still was tremendously bad. And she, unless someone was completely preparing her meals, which my aunt lived with us pretty much all of my life as a child. One of my dad's sisters lived with us, and she would cook my mom's meals because my mother had no self-control, and she was a carb addict. I am an admitted carb addict, and so I try to look at it similar to how I do my recovery from my alcoholism. It really is something that my body turns into something bad inside of me. And I have an obsession for it. So I have to be very careful about carbohydrates in general. It's hard to control. So one of the things that I did do is I started eating more naturally and coming away from carbs as much as I could. I can't completely get rid of them. I will never lie about that. But I've been able to manage it to the point that I'm down to a 5.3 A1C. So whatever I'm doing is okay, but I probably should check my blood sugar once in a while too, just because I do know that once diagnosed as a diabetic, always a diabetic. I did have cataracts done in both eyes 3 years ago, and 2 or 3 years ago. And the cataract doctor, my eye doctor, told me, he gave me a little more information than I even had. He said, once a diabetic, always a diabetic. He said, diabetes would be trying to find a way into your body, to harm your body. Even if you're controlling your A1C, diabetes itself, he said, even my A1C was good, but he said, your cataracts are pretty bad. And he said, that is diabetes. And so I keep a check on that, and I probably should check my blood sugar once in a while, like you're doing, because it's just before you started, you went kind of put it on hold. What were you doing? What's the focus of your channel?
Our channel was basically just everyday life and travels with just the two of us, to keep our kids updated with what we were doing. It's kind of changed. We're actually in our third RV since the channel started. The first two were totaled out, so we've got the third one now. I say that our first RV, which is what the channel started with, we called her Macy, and she was a Class C, and we had new tires put on her. And on our first trip out, the two rear dualies on the driver's side came off.
One second. He's big. All right. Go. I'm so sorry for that. He was crying to get out with his daddy.
That's okay. I just had somebody come in, so I may end up having to close the door so you don't hear. Our current home is an apartment within our daughter's home. So we've got, as far as our home base goes. But anyway, that one crashed out. So we took some time and was looking for another one, and came across another one that I actually flew over to Arizona. I actually flew over to Arizona and picked it up. And as I got to the North Carolina, Tennessee line, someone cut me off and I totaled it. So then we started watching for another one, and we have found one, and we've gotten a real good one. But we aren't fully retired yet. My husband still works, and I work part-time. And then with the sicknesses that we had, it's just taken up a little bit of a time. But I mean, we still do the videos of basically our everyday life. And when we do a trip, we film it and do it. I've got a lot of video done that I just need to edit and make into movies because of our illnesses. I mean, I was still filming, but I didn't, edit them to put them up.
Right. Things interfere with life. In April, we had just really started the channel at the end of, towards the end of February, and we're doing like one live stream a week, and we're doing some videos and whatnot. And then my father died, and it wasn't me. He was 94, but it was right in the middle of when COVID first started, and he was in a nursing home because he'd become paralyzed out of the blue from the waist down, and so he had to be in a nursing home for the proper care of him. And so we hadn't been able to see him except one time out of through a window. And so I took a month. That happened April 5th, 3rd or 5th. And it was just traumatizing. My dad is a huge part of my life. And I've lived with him for the last 24 years. We help him out with things, and then eventually started taking care of his, feeding, doing all the things we would do for him. And then he passed. And so it took me a month to even want to do another video, to think about doing life, without my dad. I just so things interfere once in a while with doing videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to get back into it. It's just to getting over. I mean, this coming on this live with my face in the camera is out of my comfort zone.
I understand.
I'll pick it back up. It's just going to take me a little bit of time.
Yeah, just one thing at a time and one video at a time, and before you know it, you'll just be doing it again.
Yeah.
You've got a third RV now?
Yes, we have. It's a Class A. better than what we had ever expected to be able to gain, to be honest with you. But as each one of our RVs were totaled, our insurance paid us a little more than what we actually paid for the RVs. So we were able to, upgrade each time. And this one here is, we call him Kobe. So we gave him a guy's name. And we've really enjoyed it. I mean, it does everything that we need to do, but we're just like you. I mean, there's things that we're still learning on it. And as we go out, we'll ask our neighboring campers, can you tell us how to do this if it's something that we haven't, learned on YouTube.
Exactly. The community that I've gotten involved with here that I've met through these couple of different shows, Daydream About Nice Things has a lot of people that follow him, and he used to do them 6 days a week. And so I met a lot of people there. And then also Box Van D's live streams. Hers, she gets up to 150 or higher sometimes, I think, people on her live streams. And I'm telling you, I just went and I started writing every name down, every channel. And I went and I said, hey, I met you at Box Van D, and I really like your video, and I enjoyed, this or this about it. So, that is, part of, for me, was building this one little bit at a time, just meeting people. And I'm really appreciative that you came up here and shared your story a bit.
Well, I agree with you that our big thing in reference to the YouTubing, like I said, was for our family to be able to know what it was that we were doing. But what I have gained is I like the community. Yeah. We were part of the meetup that we had at in Mayberry. We had 28 YouTubers there, and you get a wealth of information.
It is. Being around other people who've been doing this, or, there's some people I've met that have been doing it for years. Most people, a year, a couple of years, and they're still learning, and they're so willing to just share that information that they've learned without really anything back. So that's the way our channel is that whatever we learn, we're going to give people, I want people to know that information, because that's how it was done for me. Yeah.
We're right there with you. Right there with you.
All right. Well, I've got another person in the basement, but I do appreciate you coming and taking that little leap of faith and jumping onto the screen today.
All right. Well, bye.
All right. Thank you, Cindy, so much.
I'll be in the chats.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right, Victoria. All right, we've got Victoria May Wallace. She's got a picture of she wants a Barbie mobile.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, it's so cute.
It's called an E-Jeep. And believe it or not, that is a mobility scooter.
Wow.
Yeah, they've come a long way.
And how much is this one?
6,800 and something.
So why is it so much less than the other one that you were talking about?
I don't know. The other one isn't even that fun.
This is cute as crud.
And this one actually has more to it than the other one that cost $13,000. This one has not just heat, but it has an air conditioner. It has a radio. It has, oh my gosh, a windshield wiper. Yeah, it's got a USB plugins in it, and you can have 4 people in it. The other one is a 2-seater. So yeah, I don't know why this one is cheaper than the other one.
That is really weird, but maybe it just has a better construction. Who knows? But I just want to say that is a good one to shoot for right there. I would be shooting for that.
Well, I don't drive. I never, in my whole life, I've never had a license, and I don't. I have a phobia. That's the biggest thing. I have a phobia of getting behind a car wheel and getting on the road, you know, with other cars. It's not that I'm scared of myself because I know I would be overcautious, but there's no guarantee with the other people. And even on my electric trike, I have to be really, really careful because people run red lights. And I
Oh,
have
yeah.
more than once, if I had been crossing in a crosswalk on my trike, um, I would have been hit by a car because somebody ran a red light. And
I was,
so, yeah,
I've seen that. A friend of mine is blind. A man that I know is blind, and he always has. It happened in his 40s due to high blood pressure, unfortunately, and so he learned how to walk all over the place. But he's very leery because he said people constantly go, almost hit him.
right. And see, because of my seizures, they won't probably, even if I tried
Yeah.
and I passed and all that, I probably wouldn't be getting a license because of the seizures. And plus, I just don't feel safe. You know, what if I started having one of my dizzy spells and blackouts behind a wheel? You know, at least on this, I can ride on the roads around here. You're not legally you're not supposed to, but they don't normally give me a hard time when I ride my trike on the, and since this is considered a mobility scooter, I figure they won't give me a hard time if I'm on the paths or the sidewalk. And a lot of the time, the sidewalks aren't big enough for even my trike, so I have to go out on the road anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't put myself behind the wheel of a car with my health issues. I just never know when a dizzy spells are going to hit me or a blackout. And so I don't never plan on trying to get behind the wheel of a automobile.
That is really, I know that is a big issue. One of my a dear friend that I have, a young woman in her early 30s, in her early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, became um, had really serious seizure disorder just out of the blue, and
Yeah.
it very much debilitated her life. She is now she went through a couple different neurologists in order to find the right fit and someone who could help her, but she finally found the right neurologist and has you don't recover from seizures, they're managed, but
Yeah, she sounds like she had major seizures. Mine, I'm borderline, like I'm minor. They consider the seizures that I have minor because
right.
it is only dizzy spells and blackouts. It's not like I re fall down and have the major seizure.
Uh-huh.
I just get really super dizzy and I have blackouts occasionally. It hasn't happened in a long time, but the other day I started having them quite bad, and so I wasn't even on the I didn't even turn on my computer or anything because of it. And yeah, I that's a dream. That's my dream.
And that is, I love that. It is a Barbie car. That would be so fun. So your trike that you have now, can you can ride on that in any of the bike paths, ride in any of the roads that have bike lanes?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, and it's electric, but the problem is I can only ride it in the nice weather. In the when it's dry and warm,
yeah.
right now the whole winter through, I'm not able to be independent. I can't get around on my own. If I wanted to by myself take my dogs and get their nails trimmed or
Mhm.
just get out and about by myself, I can't do that. I got to depend in the winter either on somebody else or the bus service. And I don't like to ride the bus, to be honest. Um, but yeah, and so it gives me that independence, and I love it. I love my trike. It was the best because I've always rode a bicycle, a two-wheeled bike, my entire life.
Uh-huh.
But I'm so out of shape, to be honest, and I'm older, and my arthritis, I've got degenerative arthritis, and it's getting worse, and so my back is frequently hurting. And so Kenny helped me. I paid half, Kenny paid half, and we got me the electric trike. And it gave me that much more independence and a little bit more exercise too, because I have the choice whether I want to be lazy and just use the throttle, or whether I want to pedal and have it zoom forward, which I don't really like it because you pedal like you take three pedals and then it zooms forward,
Uh-huh.
and you have to brake a lot more often and things like that. So and if you turn it off, boy, I tell you, you'll get the exercise because it's like pedaling through sand.
Well, they're not lightweight.
No, it's a metal frame bicycle, and it weighs 75 pounds, the bike. And so, yeah, I'm pushing 75 pounds plus, I'm not going to say how much I weigh to embarrass, but, and then my weight on top of that, put it that way. It's like
Uh-huh.
pedaling through sand. It's not a fun experience. I ran my battery dead the first time I did it, and I had to pedal. And I had people going, I feel so sorry for you, as I was passing them, because it was obvious that I was struggling to get up even the slightest hills. I was like, oh God, I'm never going to do that again.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I would love one of those someday. I would, and I actually have to go. This whole process. See, I'm growing up in front of people in many ways. Okay, so I admit many things about myself that I'm probably stupid to admit. Y'all know I'm a recovering alcoholic, sober 25, almost 26 years. You know that when I started, when I found out I was diabetic, I was 405 pounds, and I lost over 100 pounds on my own.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and so I share a lot of information that many people go, why would you tell people that stuff? Well, it's because this is I'm very real, and there may be things that come back at me. I know that there are trolls in the world that come back at me and are hurtful, but I didn't get on YouTube because I have a thin skin, and because I want to use my life potentially as a way to help somebody else in one way or another, whether it's through the fact that I'm learning how to YouTube, I'm learning how to be a YouTube content creator, I'm learning how to RV, and I'm learning how to be a good human being to other people that I don't even know. And I've not always been this congenial. Let me just put it that way. I've never always been this congenial. I'm fairly bossy. So,
Well, yeah, I didn't even intend to do lives. When I first came on, I just started following people that I enjoyed. Certain things like I like bushcrafting and homesteading and RVing. I like those things. So when I first came on the internet, that's all I did was just sat and I watched people, and I had no intention of even posting videos or anything. But then Kenny got me to post my first bicycle rides, and I did that. And then after I was going to people's lives and just going into the chats, like Gary and Tammy Daydream About Nice Things and Jerry Holly.
oh
And
yeah,
when I first started going into their lives, I was just going to the chat. And then I got brave enough, I went up on the panel,
yeah.
and it just slowly went from there. And I still had no intentions of anything specific. You know what I mean? I just was coming up to meet people, to have fun with people, and that was
Mhm.
my whole intent. Just meet people, make friends, and have fun. And then Miss Millie talked me into, after the karaoke thing kind of fizzled out with everybody, Miss Millie talked me into doing karaoke because she said she missed singing. And
Huh?
I thought, okay, well, nobody else is doing it. I guess I can do that. I mean, how hard can it be?
All you
and
can do.
and still my intention is just to have fun, to make friends, and hopefully people would like me enough to want to be my friends.
Yeah.
And that's where it's at. I don't intend for anything more than that. If I get if I get that, then I'll do video content.
Uh-huh.
If ever I get that, I'll put a GoPro in the window and y'all go riding around with me in that. Other than that, in the summertime, I do rides on my bike. And unless you really like to watch somebody drive down a street and you're looking forward as if you're on the tricycle, that's about all there is to it at this point.
Mhm.
Um, Me and Kenny haven't done rides too much together, and he's the one that was doing the awesome videos of my bike rides, those first two. And we had a editing app that was okay, and he did all of that for me because, to be honest, I just don't have the mental capacity to remember everything. I'm lucky to remember what I'm doing as I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because yeah, I have damage to the left side of my brain, and I don't like talking about my health problems, but
Mhm.
I have a few problems, you know,
Yeah.
and so I do the best I can do, and I hope people will understand that and give me a little leeway. But I love people. I really do, and I try to treat everybody the way I would want to be treated, and
Yes.
it's as simple as that, you know. And I might flub my words, and I might not say things perfectly, but I do my best, and I try to be kind at everything I do.
Mhm.
And so,
Well,
anyway,
let me ask you just a couple clarifying questions for your channel because I want to make sure people know that might not know you. So your channel right now does it is a what night of the week or what day?
Wednesday, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And don't you allow a little leeway on it being? Can't people do poems if they want rather than
If they
sing?
want to, it's karaoke, but you know, I'm so flexible. You know, if you want to say a poem, you can say a poem. If you want to come up and just hang out and be seen on the screen, that's fine too. You know, I'm I'm all about just being friends.
Okay.
Whatever, you know. I enjoy people.
You and you're a good friend to have, Vicky, because you are so supportive. So Vicky is a good friend to have, Victoria May, aka Vicky, but your channel name is Victoria May Uncensored, is it? Or
Life uncensored.
Victoria May Life Uncensored. If you could drop her link, Kaylee, she's a good friend to have because Vicky is a very supportive person. And you know, sometimes it will be, well, hello, Erin Jemison. Thank you for coming. Um, it, she is one of the sweetest, genuinely sweetest people. And Vicky, I mean that sincerely. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to bring up somebody else, but I wanted to make sure. I'm glad you came up and you showed us your Barbie. I want one of those, although I don't know if I'll ever be small enough to fit in it. But it's so cute. It's so cute.
I'm not that small either, but I still want one.
I don't
Anyway,
blame you. And her birthday tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time.
right. And I was thinking about doing kind of what you're doing down here at the bottom of your screen tomorrow, and
Uh-huh.
only for tomorrow. You know, that way I don't like asking for anything, but if anybody wants to send me a birthday present, I was thinking about doing that, putting that
Yeah.
my
Okay.
PayPal.
You know, anybody can do that. Actually, you don't have to be monetized.
Right. I
You know?
just don't want to seem needy or like give me kind of a thing, you know. I don't.
Well, I want to give you a birthday present tomorrow. So if I came to your birthday party at a pizza parlor, I would be bringing you a gift. So, you know, I'll, I'm going to
I
be
hope I
doing,
see everybody in the chat at my birthday tomorrow. It's going to be at 2:00.
all right.
My
So
time.
I'm going to drop you down and let Troy up here, and we're going to chat for a minute. But thank you for coming up, Vicki. Happy birthday, and I'll see you tomorrow, honey.
Okay. Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Love you.
Take care. Hi,
Hello,
Lucretia.
Troy.
I'm out here on the side of the highway in Central Oregon.
I don't see any snow. It's clear.
It's sort of hard to hear you for all the traffic. I was trying to get away from it.
How is your day today?
All right. We just got through dropping off our sight impaired friend Pat back at home. We did karaoke last night. It's weird. Either our military is high on oxygen or they're just out having fun or something out here, because I don't know if you can see that up in the background over there, but they're just randomly dropping chemtrails here and there in the skies.
Huh? Why I see? I don't know enough about that. Why do they do? Isn't that just made when somebody goes? I know this is going to sound so stupid if you know about aircraft, but isn't that just made because somebody goes zooming really fast in the sky?
No, it's actually chemicals they put in the jet fuel along with other things. They drop chemicals with like heavy metal particles to help control global warming and all kinds of stuff. I mean, they experiment with it and then come through and drop it. And vapor trails don't leave a trail like this in the sky. Chemtrails do, because there's chemicals in it.
I didn't
And our
know.
government's been doing it for years. Yeah, there's a big debate over it and controversy over this. And we literally, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 above me. They're just randomly dropping them out here in Central Oregon. And I mean, they did this a couple of years ago and took a blue sky and turned it gray for some reason. But it's just like they're out here randomly doing it. Like there's one over there that over that way it was started and just stopped. I don't know what they're doing out here.
Wow. I mean, clearly Central Oregon, I know that in a plane, you can get places quickly, especially in like a fighter plane, which, by the way, I just don't know anything about. So I identified you as one of my, somebody I absolutely love you guys. You know, what you've done for my channel, for our channel, is shocking. First of all, that you got us the solar. I mean, I realize we're going to be paying you back for that.
Yeah,
but you did not have to do that. And you
one's hoping to travel with you guys too, and it's just convenient to have those things.
yes, and that you can't travel with us. I'm really sad. I hope eventually we can travel together.
Yes, I'm hoping the sale of my house will go through smooth, and then we'll be able to get more mobile, maybe in a nicer rig. Who knows?
Right. Well, so I mean, you're a master at this. Okay, so you're somebody who really knows what they're doing. Just not talking about it. You've been doing it for decades. You've got multiple types of RVs, had multiple types of RVs, and you're passing that knowledge on. You know, the knowledge you have, you give freely. And so someday,
it's been my hobby since I was a child. So
right. That is
that's my sister.
We used to RV. My family had a small travel trailer, a wonderful, when I was little. Well, not little. I would probably have been in grade school, junior high. And I hated it. I slept in a tent. I had no interest in being in an RV. I wanted to be in a tent. So, yeah, but my father and my mom especially wanted an RV. But so do you want to tell people a little bit about your channel? I know your channel's kind of on hold, but you're still out there.
Well, we were remodeling a bounder and showing the work that we were doing on it, and just trying to sort of create a channel where we were showing a little bit of ourselves out and about doing stuff like, going out to a dinner and working on the RV and showing them what we're doing. And life sort of took over with my sister's renters moving out, and we had to move down to her house to help her work on it and stuff like that. And we just didn't have the time to keep recording video and editing it. So we just sort of quit doing it. But once my house sells, I think I'm going to have more time to, capture the you know, the video and time to edit it once I get out on the road.
Right, right.
Start doing it again. I mean, I was in a bad way many years ago, close to 10 years ago. I was paralyzed, or pretty much bedridden, and YouTube kept me from going to a darker place than I was already out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
There's people out there like me that are disabled that can't get out and do these things. And if I'm able to, I want to share it with people, whether they're disabled or not, but especially the ones that can't get out and do it, so they can sort of have the armchair vacation, which is what YouTube was for me.
It is,
That's what it was all about in the beginning.
the disability stuff is important because for myself, I have disabilities now, mobility disabilities specifically. So I totally understand that. The nerve damage I've had 13 back surgeries in 10 years, and both knees replaced. And so while the pain from the knees, you know, because before knee replacement, if they actually do a knee replacement, you have to be really severely damaged. And it did feel like I was walking on little rocks, like rocks were grinding up against each other. That pain is completely gone. But in one particular year, a year and a half ago, in January, I had a back surgery, a major one, 4 levels fused. And then I had a knee replacement and another knee replacement 3 months later. And then I had a back surgery 3 months later after that. So my body still is not fully recovered from those things. And I want to know, what is it like? I want people to know what places are good for people with disabilities, because now, and I hate it, you know, I've come to terms with it because it's embarrassing to me. This isn't projected on anybody else's abilities or not. It's embarrassing because of how fit and capable I used to be. It's taken me a long time to come to terms with the fact that if I want to walk down a trail, even a paved trail, I have to use my walker. And so I've been asking people like Roy and Becky on their travels, on their some of their hikes, could I use my walker? You know, I can still walk and I can still maneuver, but I use it for stability because there's severe nerve damage in my legs. They can't undo the nerve damage. So for stability reasons, I have great endurance. I'm a very endurant person. And but it's just that stability so I don't stumble and fall. You know, so I want to know, can a disabled person who has my kind of needs walk on a trail that's maybe not even paved? And I've done that a little bit, even just locally. So I absolutely empathize with you, Troy.
Yeah, there are some trails and areas. There's areas where you don't even have to really get out on a trail to enjoy yourself. You can literally enjoy it from almost your campsite up here in Central Oregon. There's just some gorgeous spots where you can literally put your RV right next to the Big Deschutes River.
Oh yeah.
You know, and walking a trail is like literally going out to the edge of your campground, which would be easily done with a walker with wheels, and you could, you know, call that your exercise for the day.
Right.
So there's things you can still do, but getting down some of these trails, I can't even do it anymore. You know, I'm lucky to do a quarter mile out and a quarter mile back, and it toasts me for a day or two just doing little things like that. If I'm having a really good day, and on bad days, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything.
You know, that's it's one of those things that people with any kind of walking, you know, disability has to face. And I don't want to live this RV fully from inside of the RV. I want to live out of the RV. I don't want to be, it's my only vision. You know, the windows are my only vision. Sometimes that will be. So, because, you know, you and I both know, since you have some similar things, that there are times out of the blue, we just are down. The pain is too much. And I personally don't use pain medicine. Although I'll be honest, I'm using some CBD oil at night when I go to sleep. Because one of the issues is at night, I will be awake, not uncommonly, still at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because becoming comfortable in bed is very hard. And it's almost as difficult as walking. And so I don't like opiates. I disdain opiates. I don't like because I get violently ill on them. And so I'm trying this as a potential alternative for at least being able to sleep. But I'm very careful because being a recovering alcoholic, I don't want to put myself in a position now to become dependent on anything else ever again. So I use it very sparingly. So you're just a good person, Troy. So you just came to our rescue. You know, you just saw people that you liked and you came to our rescue.
I wouldn't say that. I'm just trying to be a good friend. I've met you guys. You and Richard are incredible. You're exactly who you are in person as you present yourself on YouTube, and that's a good quality to have. So, you know, it's hard to make quality friends nowadays. It really is. There's so many people out there just looking to take advantage of you around every corner. And this nomadic group on YouTube that you and I have met and helped create, so to speak, in our own little ways, along with everybody else. It seems to be in general an incredible crowd of people who just want to get out there and live life and meet good people also.
Well, true. You know, I've stumbled into this group of people and larger YouTube overall, because some of them are not even travel nomad people at all. I've met some people that are in the cooking world or in the gardening. You know, before I found Bob Wells, I had thought I wanted a tiny home and I really wanted to garden. Little tiny garden area, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, blah, 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 cilantro, simple things like that. And I thought that's what I wanted to do, was a tiny home. And then, tiny homes led me to Bob Wells. So tiny homes was the way I actually got into this whole thing. As I think about it, tiny homes, tiny living, when you put those in, eventually you're going to hit on Bob Wells probably. Anyways, the idea of being able to give back, I'd share my I just want to say this right here with Bernie Ferry Despina. So Bernie, I'm with you with walking in limitations. I cannot get my walker in and out of my van. Very hard to deal with. So is it a heavy walker? Because I have two walkers. I've got a larger walker that is for larger people that I got 5 years ago. And now I've got the normal sized walker. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. And the smaller walker, I am able to get in and out of. I've got I'm driving it's a Lexus crossover vehicle. And so I can get it in and out of there. But it can be difficult. What I couldn't get it in and out of, I bought a Cadillac CTS. It's a sport model of Cadillac. And they are not meant to be driven in like if you have a wheelchair or if you have a walker. I couldn't for the life of me. The only place I could get it in ever was the back seat. And it was cream colored, beautiful car, but it wasn't practical for someone with disabilities. And I did have to get rid of it. And I got a van instead and blah, blah, blah. So it can be hard. Maybe you could look at finding, is it just too hard for you to lift? Maybe, maybe that's one of the limitations too. I don't know, but I did find a way to get it in and out because I do want to travel by myself, like to doctors or to the store or whatever it needs to be. But I do know there are vehicles, they're not easy to get in and out of. So you are someone who's been RVing for so long that you could probably write a book and sell it.
I probably could.
And instead, you're just being a kind person on YouTube. And thank you so much for what you've helped us with. And I'm glad I'm just really happy that I've met you.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'm glad I've met you and a lot of others on here too. Congratulations on the monetization. That's great.
Yep, I'm happy. It was, as I've said, it was about meeting a goal for me more than anything else.
And just to let everybody know, I cannot read chat while I'm actually on here because it just shows myself and you on the screen. I can hear you, but I can't read chat.
Yeah, they're just people have said hi and whatnot. So let me look here, Alberta. Van Vita Travels. Well, hello, Paula. Thank you for coming in.
And look at Backroads Nomad. I helped you set up a good budget system for a good price. which, you know, I mean, it's unheard of to even a couple years ago to get that kind of wattage in a little cheap budget system to charge up a bank of batteries with. It wasn't even doable 2 years ago. And then we have Backroads Nomad that's willing to help you put it on the rig. You know, I mean, just look at how kind these people are that you meet out here.
Yes.
Warms
Yes,
your heart, doesn't it?
it does. Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much for that super sticker. Very much. So yes, it does. And I've been sitting here for 3 hours. Would you mind if I ran to the restroom and you tell them about I'm going to give you the whole screen and you tell the group about what kind of solar you've set up for me?
Okay.
All right. You don't have to look at their stuff, but just tell them what you've given me.
Well, just keep in mind, everybody out there, I cannot read the chat while I'm doing this, but what we did is we found a local distributor, a wholesaler in Central Oregon. His name is Bob, and he owns Central Oregon Solar, or Southern Oregon Solar, I believe. And what he does is he buys large solar panels, the type that they make the off-grid solar systems out of, in bulk on pallets. And when I bought mine, I was able to get 325 watt panels at just under 40 volts for, it was 185 is what he had them for per panel. And because I bought 6, he sold them to me for 175 a panel. When I went back to get more, 2 more for myself and more for Lucretia, he actually had a sale running for the holidays, and they were at 130 a panel, which is just unheard of for a brand new panel. I mean, they sell the used ones for close to that kind of money, if you can find the used ones. So we set her up with 2 of those panels, which is 650 watts. I believe the mounting brackets were about 35 for each panel. They don't tilt, but when you have that much wattage, you don't need them to tilt unless you're actually really using a lot of power. And then we bought some wire off Amazon, some splitters, some fuses, some power supplies that actually with the USB plugins and the voltage meters on them, a gland that brings it to the roof. What else did we put in there? I'm forgetting something, but everything all combined came to, I believe, $508 total when I added it up the other day. And that's, you know, she doesn't have an inverter yet, but you can get a nice inverter for $100 to $200. I purchased a 3,000 watt sine wave inverter for my trailer for a little over $200. So if you shop around, they've come down in price too. Everything is becoming reasonable with solar. And 5 or 10 years ago, you could not do this with solar. It was not cost effective to put solar on your home to compensate for your electric bill up until about 4 or 5 years ago, in my opinion. You were just spending a lot of money and trying to be eco-friendly. Now it's actually tangible to have it pay you back correctly without it breaking down for what it costs.
I've heard people over the last 2 years that I've been watching this whole thing develop. It is becoming so much more accessible to anybody who wants to do it.
And affordable.
Yeah,
panels used to be the most expensive part of the system, and now they're about the cheapest.
And they're everywhere, there's something everywhere.
Yep. Those panels on Amazon, if somebody went to buy your panels on Amazon, they're going to pay over $400 per panel, including their shipping.
Wow.
For the two, that's each for the 2 panels you got for 130 each.
So
if you get your panels from a local distributor and not pay the shipping and pick them up yourselves, that's where the big savings is.
Yeah, certainly. Absolutely. Well, do you have any tips for us remember to turn off your pilot light is one of them. Yes. You say okay, so here's a safety question. Could that actually have hurt us? Could we have actually had if say we'd had an accident and not known that was on, could that have burned down our RV?
Yes. Actually leaving the tank on the underbelly on can actually cause that, because you have propane charged in your lines throughout your RV going to your appliances. As long as that valve underneath is on, you have a charge system in your rig with propane. So if you get in a wreck and it damages a line, creates a spark, it's an automatic fire hazard.
And we, you know, we didn't even know the dang thing was on. So dang, I said dang, not the other word. You know, I found out it was on. So we have a checklist now. We're going to put it by the door. Yes,
and like somebody was suggesting the other day on one of your chats, a laminated checklist. Make what you want on it, maybe even a front and a back. If there's too much on there, and get yourself one of those dry erase pens and just put it on a clipboard, hang it by the door, and go down it.
Exactly. All right.
As long as I've been doing this, I even need a checklist. I forget stuff all the time.
There's so many things.
Yes.
Especially if you're moving around like every few days or every couple of weeks or whatever, you know, there's some things to remember, like turn on your hot water heater so that your husband can take a shower.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to drop you down, and I'm going to invite Backroads Nomad to come up if he's still here, because I'm going to talk about what bushcraft is, just in a nutshell with him. But thank you for everything, and thank you for coming up and chatting with us.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure, and it's fun to hang out with you and everybody in chat. It really is. You've created a nice little platform for all of us to enjoy ourselves on, so thank you.
And by the way, you did get to see Richard has a great personality, doesn't he?
Oh, and a sense of humor. I like him. He'll be fun to hang out with if we get to go camping this spring like we planned. That will be a blast.
He's out doing some small things on the RV right now. All right. Thanks, Troy. You have a good night, and tell Christian hello.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye, dear. All right. I'm dropping the link for Backroads Nomad if he is still in the house. I'd like you to, somebody asked about bushcraft. And so, and I want to, well, I'm waiting for you to come up because I think you will. I'm going to, maybe if you can't, I understand that too. I am going to say hello to K&R Destinations. Thank you for coming by. Time for exploring. I know I probably missed you when you came in. Then Vita Travels. Thank you very much for coming, sweetheart. I appreciate you so much. And K&R Destination. Did I already say that? K&R Destinations. I hope I did not step on your time. I'm kind of out of sync right now because I've had this going on for a while, but there was so much to talk about. And I'm sorry if I did went over your time frame, sweethearts. See if there's, I know 30 and a Wakeup was in here earlier. And if you're still here, thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much for coming by. Everybody always likes hearing from you. You have so much great information. And we've got James Cantonese. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Because like I said, I like to be in charge of my chat. And that means I need to know who's in here. I cannot leave that for someone else to figure out for me. So, Full-Time Dream. I don't think I got to say hello to you. But if you're still here, have a great day. Thank you for being here. And I really do enjoy you. Pam Gypsy Aries. Thank you for coming in. I didn't know I didn't get to say hello to you. So yes, first I'd like to see if you're still in the chat, Backroads. And if you're able to come up, just let me know. Just say yes or no. And if not, I've got someone else I'm going to chat with for a few minutes. And so after the chat, please remember. So there's a few of you, actually quite a few who were not in here in the beginning because God knows it's been a long, long afternoon. I was in communication with a subscriber who very respectfully and kindly talked to me about how they're confused about why someone so new would be asking for money. Okay. That's kind of, and in essence, and this is how I read it, and I don't mean it negatively because they were not trying to be mean. And they did do it on an open message, but then they deleted them. And that's okay too. But they were questioning why someone who has just new to this, admittedly, feels like they deserve to get paid and to ask for money. And I always and I said this up front early on, I would never ask for money from anybody. And it made me think. So what he did was he made me think. And I started questioning, because I'm looking at the doing memberships, and that's what brought it up for this person, and rightfully so. You know, they've super chatted me, and I respect that tremendously. But I've taken some things for granted. Everybody does it. You get monetized. You get some you know, we get some videos out there. It is not easy to become monetized, and I did communicate that back to him, that to become monetized, first of all, we have to have 1,000 friends, you know, and I'm now heading in on 1,000 or 1,300 friends, and you have to have 4,000 watch hours of people, you know, people watching your stuff for 4,000 hours. That's a lot of watch time. So that was a hill, you know, that was a hill about that steep. And when I first started, it felt like it was straight up and down, like a sheer mountain, you know. And Patty Woods, hello. And so people start investing in their channel. I know we've invested in our channel. We've invested in, you know, one of the things we first got was just $400. Nobody told us to do it, but I want to be able to learn how to be a good photographer and really incorporate that into the channel. And so that's one of the things that we went ahead and we got. Some other things, smaller things like an RV. It really did push us to get the RV, but that's our choice. Okay, so I identify as an RV channel primarily. We do, you know, I do some cooking and blah, 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 but those are things that everybody does in an RV. So I incorporate that in minimally. And just other things. I want to be able to give good content. So, and then he did comment on that we haven't done a lot of content videos. I don't even know how many content videos I've done, but we've done a few, quite a few actually. But he did truly make me think. Why do you think you deserve any money from people? Well, I don't think I deserve any money from people. First, if people are so inclined to want to gift us, or however somebody feels about that, I am deeply grateful for that. And I also want to make sure that I use your money in the best way possible for our channel. That we steward every dime we get from a donor, from a gift, whatever, that's stewarded properly. Because I've had to do, I mean, I've seen how that works. You know, I've had that opportunity, and it matters. And then and he brought up to me, you do know that YouTube takes 30%. And I know most of you probably heard this. I'm saying it for the people who haven't. YouTube takes 30%. And by the way, Lucretia, they don't even have to pay you. And I know a larger channel who complained about that. She did not get paid and did not get paid for months. And she is a very established channel. And he commented about we don't have that many hours. And we've not even, if we were on the road for like a year, that might be something to think about, giving, help becoming a member of a channel for people like that. So it really made me think, and I had to think in a very quick amount of time because that was all this morning. So I thought, you know what? He's right on some terms. And if you actually have an Apple product that you gift us on, they take 30% more. So 60% off the top of your money goes to YouTube and Apple. Now, do I think that's a good stewardship of Joe Blow's money? I don't. That's why I'm running PayPal. If somebody, I'm great. I'm going to keep up the super stickers because even I like to give super stickers. I think they're cute. Thank you, Paula. Please, you don't have to. And I'm not saying this because I want anybody to do, gift anymore. I don't. I'm just trying to explain and get feedback, by the way. I would absolutely appreciate feedback after this is done, when it's up on YouTube. Tell me what you think about that, because it really made me stop in my tracks and reconsider if I want to do channel memberships, because I don't want people to feel like they're getting ripped off. What am I giving you in exchange for 99 cents or $1.99? And then they brought up another issue, and it hit me because I felt like this recently. He said, And he's gifted us very well, by the way. So this is not someone who hasn't gifted us. This is a very respectful gifter, I should say. And so the other issue was about he didn't want to come to our channel, and in order to participate, to feel left out by not being able to come into, say, a chat or whatever what it is, if he doesn't pay the 99 cents or the $1.99 or $2.99, whatever, because he's coming to feel included. And so I stopped in my tracks because I am that person who wants everybody to be included. And I thought, what do I say? What do I do? I'm not quite sure the answer, other than I've worked really hard to do the very most minimum possible. Maybe I'll only have one level. Maybe I'll only have one level of membership. But again, you'll pay 30, so it will turn people off. And I know that there will be people who don't want to be members because there's 30% going to YouTube off the top of that membership, and 30% if they're on an Apple product going to Apple. I don't have a good answer for that. The only answer I have is the alternative is if you want to participate as much, I'm going to leave as many things open to everybody. Please trust me on that when I have a final plan. But if you want to support us in any financial gift, PayPal is the best way. It's very minimal, if any. So I'm trying to be sensitive to that. Someone like him, who's like, Lucretia, why are you doing that? Why are you chasing the money when they're going to get it anyways? And so I'm trying to sort that out. I would like feedback after this is over on exactly how you feel about that idea. And if it does make you, like I'm a member of a couple channels, 2 or 3 channels on here, and then 2 Patreons, but they're 99 cents each. And they're big channels. Camper Van Kevin, who I adore, please, I love that man, and please keep him in your prayers. And Deborah Dickinson. So I Patreon those 2 people. I'm closing my Patreon account, and I'm going to do everything. Whatever I choose, whatever I decide to do is going to be only here. It is not going to be on Patreon. I don't want to do Patreon. I need to focus on one channel at a time. So let's see. Here's a big message. Here is the way I handled membership. I just started a few days ago. My channel doesn't change memberships, just gets you some fun things that I can't offer on normal YouTube platform, emojis and badges. So you're doing it so people have access to those emojis and badges. So you're new at doing this too, Kevin. You have a nice size channel, and you're building a really good channel, and you're someone that people really look up to. So I'm going to look at how you're doing your memberships. If you felt like you wanted to come up and explain it, you're free to do that. I would love to hear that from somebody that's kind of working that out too. Because Naj, howdy everyone. Howdy to you, my friend. How you're working it out would be great to hear from. Because I'm feeling uneasy. I will say at first, and he didn't want to do this, but at first I wanted to cry. Because I felt really uncomfortable. Like, do people think I'm, YouTube panhandling? Absolutely not. I would be doing this no matter what. I'm doing this no matter what. And again, I always just encourage people to only give what they want to, if they want to. And I want to leave as much available. So, hey, Kevin, when you're ready, I'm ready. Can you hear me? Are you ready? Hey,
I'm actually in bed. I hope that's not weird.
No, because you're 3 hours ahead of me, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm in bed actually editing a video. So I usually, I was at the Tampa RV show today, and I live streamed for a really, really long time. So,
You're tired, I bet.
yeah. What's that?
Well, thank you for coming up and being willing to talk about this a little bit. I mean, money is never an easy thing for any, it's not easy to talk to my own family about money, let alone strangers I don't really know. And I always want to err on the side of caution. And you're somebody who's already doing this and kind of working out the kinks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you able to do channel memberships already?
Yes.
Oh, so they must have changed it. I did not get channel memberships until, hold on, let me turn this light off back here. Oh, wrong one. Let me see. I'm trying to make it where it's not too crazy looking here. So I didn't get channel memberships until 30,000. That's what it used to be. You get channel membership at 30,000. Maybe because your channel's primarily a live stream channel. I think because live stream gamers can get channel membership at 1,000. So maybe because you live stream so much, they've classified you under that under the gamer thing, and that's why you're able to do live streams. But I could not do membership until 30,000 subscribers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then I chose to hold off on it because I hired a graphic designer to do my emojis, to do badges, because I didn't want. I figured if someone's gonna pay to have that kind of fun stuff, I want it to be quality. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I paid $2,000 for all my graphics, so it's not like the channel membership money is like a whole lot of money. Over the long term, it might be. But like for me right now, I have 22 members, right? So it certainly doesn't pay for that. But I thought it's a fun thing to do, right? So if you decide to do channel memberships, you're probably going to be investing in things like that. Now, you don't have to spend $2,000. That $2,000 got me a lot of different things, not just those emojis. It got me T-shirt designs and a video, an intro video, and a bunch of other things. But whatever you offer for your channel membership is probably going to cost you one of two things. It's going to cost you money, or it's going to cost you time. So that's one way you've got to think about it. And the way I approached it is nothing on my channel changes. I'm still putting out the same amount of content. I'm still going to do the same amount of live streams. I prefer to do it to a big audience anyway, so I'm still going to do it the same amount of live streams. My channel membership primarily, I was going to do like you and only do one level, but I ended up going with multiple levels because I kept getting feedback from people who were joining. Hey, I'm just doing this level, but if you had other levels, I would have done them, because they wanted more. They wanted like more access. So that's kind of how I look at it. You keep your channel the same, so nothing changes. Your friend was saying something like, I feel like I have to become a member to get, what I come to your channel to get.
Yeah.
Well, they don't if you don't change it, right? It's just the emoji thing. I can't offer the emojis on my normal channel, or I probably would have, but I can't. And some people just like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like I do, I'm a member of a couple channels. I'm a member of Van City Van Life and Slim Potato Head.
Oh, love him.
So, although I think I'm a member. I think I'm a member of his Patreon. Actually, I don't think he has joined. But it's so that's the way I think about it. And you're actually a member of some other channels, so you know your reason for being a member.
Yeah.
It's really just you're trying to support someone that you enjoy their content. So if I was you, you're always going to get opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've noticed that people do, and YouTube's a good psychological study for this too. If you put out a video and you get 100 thumbs up and you get 1 thumbs down, all you can think about is that thumbs down.
You're absolutely right.
It's ridiculous how our psyche works that way. So you're pleasing over 99% of the people who decided to give interact with your video, but all you can focus on is the 1%, below 1%, that for whatever reason didn't like your video and decided to let you know. And it's the same thing with comments. If you look through the comments of your videos, you probably have 99% positive comments.
Yep.
And it's okay to take like feedback. Like I did those live streams from the Tampa RV show. I've never done live streams on my phone. I just got a data package that enabled me to do that. And so I was doing it, but I'd never done it before. And I didn't realize how shaky the footage is. So I had a bunch of people, not a bunch, but a small portion of people that watched it give me feedback. And so today I went and bought this DJI Osmo or DJI thing that'll stabilize my footage during live streams. So I think constructive criticism is good, but you're always going to get, and his criticism sounds constructive, but you're always going to get that. You're always going to get a little bit of negative feedback. No matter what you do, you could save 50 puppies on camera and somebody's going to comment and give you a thumbs down and say, why didn't you save 51? Like, what's wrong with you? So you kind of have to take all that stuff with a grain of thought. I've watched your channel develop and you're putting a lot of time into it. So if someone wants to throw you a tip, throw you a super chat, you should never feel bad about that. Or join your channel membership. You should never feel bad about that. That's just my take on it. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but the ones that annoy me, or the ones that annoy me personally, are the ones that are just about the channel membership, unless that's kind of like their thing, like the video gamers, maybe, like that's how they make money. And so I get it, but I don't like the ones that keep, that push you to that, in order to get their content. And I don't think that's what you would do. So
no.
Yeah.
And
so I went on and on and on and on, but
no, thank you, because you're actually helping me honestly clarify some things in my head about how to approach it better, more successfully, I think. So that because I am a person who I've never done something that I wasn't fairly successful at doing. And so I'm used to the person being that person who can just do it. And this is another animal. I've never done anything like YouTube. And so because we do get out there to such a variety of people, and by the way, I did count his criticism as constructive criticism. One of the things, being nearly 60 years old, that I feel very good about is I went to college in my 50s. And so I already had some life experience under my belt. And I had professors that worked very much from the point of constructive criticism, because when you're working in the real world, people do not give you safe places to cry. You have to learn how to work with all kinds of people. And so that's kind of how YouTube is. There's no safe place to go cry. I'm right here on camera in front of everybody. And I do take what this person said. It was actually he made me think, how am I stewarding the bit of money that somebody does gift us? Is it the best gift to get 60% taken by YouTube and Apple if it's somebody who's an Apple?
No, I get that. I get that in a way, but in another way, YouTube is like, the fact that we make 70%, I think is actually pretty remarkable.
Okay.
Because let's say I tried to go and get a TV show on ABC that would get 60,000. I have 62,000 subscribers, something like that. Let's say I was going to go try to get a show on TV with 62,000 subscribers, or 62,000 people that would watch. I would never be able to get a show. They'd be like, you can pay us to do a commercial if you want. You can pay us to be on TV. So I think YouTube, Google, whatever you want to call it, providing us this platform, and then in return getting to take a percentage of the profit, I am completely okay with, because they give us access to this huge audience of people that we wouldn't normally have access to. You could build your own channel, your own website up, but it would take a lot longer than to build a YouTube channel up and actually turn it into a reliable source of income if that's what you're trying to do. So my opinion is, I mean, Google is owned by stockholders, and this platform is owned by Google. The fact that they only take 30%, I think is pretty good. Any other content creator that gets their stuff on TV, the TV channel is taking 80% of their ad revenue, and they're getting 20%. So in my opinion, it's actually not too bad of a deal, relative to other ways to try to do this.
You actually, I have to stop you. You're posing a whole opposite scenario, and you're just as right. And I'm a stock.
I own stock in Google, so I don't want them. I don't want them completely giving this away for free. Like that. Imagine the amount of data that Google, like I pay for storage through Apple and all that stuff. I have to pay a lot. The more storage I use, the more money I have to pay. They're storing. How much do you think they're storing? I think there's like 1 billion minutes of video loaded up per hour on YouTube, something like that. So I get it. People think, evil corporation, whatever. I get that side. We can have that political debate, about the politics of Google and all that kind of stuff. But really, from like what we get in return for that 30%, actually, you don't even need to pay them 30%. You cannot be monetized, and you get this platform for free, for nothing, right? So for what we get as content creators, and then as people who view content, I think it's a fair deal. Personally, I think it's a fair deal.
Okay, so the way you're putting it, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I do understand. Like you said, don't change the channel. But what can I give? I want to have there's a value. Like some people love those emojis. By the way, the people that I'm members of, I don't have a clue what their emojis are, except because I'm a member for other reasons. I do know what Roy and Becky's are, and I'm a member of Vita Travels, and I love her little bus. I mean, she's got a emoji that is her she has an ambulance, she's traveling in. And I love that. It's cute. That is never why I'm going to pay somebody some money to be on their channel. I really like supporting new people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everyone's got their own reason for it. So I understand your friend's criticism, but again, I don't mean this in a mean way, but who is he to criticize the person that wants to support your channel? Or who are you, Lucretia, to criticize someone that wants to support my channel because they want, bald-headed Kevin emoji to put up, or they want, it's kind of funny actually.
Yeah.
What's funny is as a content creator, I can't even use my own emojis. I have to become a member. I have to use one of my other accounts to become a member. I can't even use my own emojis, which I think is crazy that I can't use my own emojis. But who are you? Who is he to criticize someone else that is trying to support a creator? None of us are twisting people's arms. We're not saying if you don't become a member or if you don't super chat me, I'm not making videos anymore.
Right.
Most of us do this. I did YouTube, made a video every single week. Actually, I won a month where I made one every single day for 1.5 years and didn't make 1 penny. So the fact that I make money now is great. It's awesome. I feel super, super blessed, but it's not really why I do this. It's just great that I've been able to turn it into income. Something I love, into income. But most of us, you haven't made a penny on YouTube yet,
No.
And how many hours? I mean, you've put at least 4,000 hours of watch time out there, right? So
Yes.
And I've seen you do some live streams. I think this one you're going on 3 hours. So I'm, you know, if I don't like criticizing. I don't like criticizing that side of YouTube or of a content creator, because the people who are doing that are doing it because they want to do it. Nobody's twisting their arm to do it. Just like the people who turn on their TV and watch Big Bang Theory and you know, and commercials come on, we don't criticize them for watching the commercials on we don't say, "Oh, I can't believe Big Bang Theory would run a Toyota commercial."
Right.
You know, we don't criticize TV companies for that, or the Big Bang Theory, the TV show. So like it's I don't know. That's just my That's my rambling. Sorry to kind of take over your live chat. I feel bad.
No, I actually, so first of all, I respect your experience. You didn't get, how many subscribers do you have now?
Oh God, I think
70,000?
No. I don't even know. 62, I think. 62,000 something. And I have 22 members. So like my membership is like super tiny, right? Relative to my channel size. I'm thankful for every single one of them. But
well, it's my understanding there's usually 100 really committed people. Eventually, you get usually 100 base people that really just you connect with, you like, and they like you, and you know there's a good thing going there. And then the others, you know, it's off and on. Like I can't watch 1,300 people's videos every week. It's not even in my day. So I'm always, so as far as you go, anything you say, I trust, because I also know you're not a greedy person. I believe, let me just rephrase that. I believe you're not a greedy person. I think you do you do excellent content, actually. I love how you do, you're showing the day in the life stuff. That's the kind of thing that I love to see.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about those videos? I really enjoy making those videos, but those videos don't make that much money. But I'm still going to do them because I like doing them, and my core audience likes them. But if you look at the view count on those, you know, I know, and this is going to sound bad because I remember what it was like to be a small creator. So please don't take this as arrogant when I say some of the things, because I'm looking at it from like kind of a different perspective. I would kill for 1,000 views. A year ago, I would have killed for 1,000 views. But now, like if my video doesn't do 10,000 views on the first day, then it's kind of a slacking video. And those day in the life videos are getting only like 5,000 views in a month, you know, in the total in a month. They're not getting that many views. People, for whatever reason, people don't watch them, don't click on them, which is fine, because I enjoy making them, and like my core audience really, really enjoys them. And so I'm going to continue to do them. So like you were saying, like the financial, and like not everything's about the financial incentive, because I could do a video tomorrow called "Why I Hate Winnebago," and it would get 250,000 views, and I would make a bunch of money off of it right away. But those videos aren't really that fun for me to make, and I don't like it. So it's like you were just saying about the like financial incentive. So I did this one video recently. It's the video with the crocodile in it. It did the worst out of all my videos. I probably spent 50 hours editing that video. And it was because I had so much footage from the Everglades, and I had to at least make a coherent story. So it just wasn't a bunch of footage thrown on there. You know, I had tons and tons of footage. So I had to go through all that footage multiple times and keep like plugging it in until I think the video is somewhere around 30 minutes, and it's coherent. Like it's a story. So hopefully the people that watch it, it'll keep their interest. But it didn't do very well because, you know, it's a van life channel, and it was, you know, there was some van in it, but it was mostly really about like me chasing alligators and crocodiles in the Everglades. And so like my audience doesn't want to see crocodiles. They want to see a van. So, but yeah, I spent a lot of time on that video, and it's like a labor of love. And so back to your point, a lot of people don't realize how much time you spend on the different things. So when they criticize somebody making a little money doing this stuff, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I've seen during this video, I think you've gotten like $12 or $15 in super chats. But you've been on here for 3 hours, so you made $5 an hour. Like that's minimum wage in like 1998. You know, so it's not like it's not like people are getting rich off this thing. You can make a great income off YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but but your time investment is like, think of all the hours you have. Let's say your YouTube channel blows up. You guys go out on the road, start filming it. YouTube channel blows up and you start making $10,000 a month. Yeah. All people will see is that you make $10,000 a month. They won't see for a year you put so much time into it and made nothing, right? They won't see that labor of love. So if you like take that $10,000 a month and you like average it out, then they go, oh, they only made $700 a month in the time they spent, you know, or whatever it is, whatever ends up being. So anyway, sorry, I'm not. Thanks, Kaylee, for putting the crocodile video up there. Nobody's going to watch that. Don't put that up.
I watched it. And
thank you, Lucretia.
Florida has never been my destination point because first and foremost, I'm terrified of snakes beyond
they're all over the
description. I know.
Yeah, they're all over the place here.
And I would love to see a crocodile, but I honestly felt like you were very brave walking around the Everglades, because even though that's a path, that's a wild community around here. Yeah. Lots of wildlife. And by the way, snakes climb trees and they can be hanging down from a branch.
Yeah, I got a lot of, we talk about the criticism, and this was a fair criticism of me. I walked around there in flip-flops. and so of course I got a lot of people were like, dude, like I'm from that area. Do not walk around in toeless shoes. Like I don't care if you're on a path, there's snakes. And if you saw that video, I actually ran into a snake. I called it a water moccasin, but it was actually a baby rattler. It was a small rattlesnake. But yeah, so, but yeah, that video was so fun to do though. So fun.
Yeah. Oh, you look like you had fun. You kept putting off lunch and, there's so much certain places.
Did watch it.
I did watch it. Certain places, when we go places, it's just such an interesting environment to get out into and see, and you start seeing other things. I've been a few places in life long before YouTube, and I remember, I was one place after another trying to get it all in. Pam Gypsy Aries does like the wildlife of Florida, snakes and all. I'm irrational. I'm irrational when it comes to mice and snakes.
Yeah.
I am irrational. On our patio.
You're gonna get mice camping in a camper. You're gonna get mice, unless you get a cat. Get a cat, put it in your rig. You won't have no mice problems. But if you don't have a cat, you're gonna get mice.
Everybody warns me, and I'm like,
yeah, you're gonna get. Even I went a long time without them, and then I picked one up in Lake Tahoe, and I tried. I'm very much like I'm very like I don't want to hurt animals, so I spent about $200 on humane traps, and that mouse was too smart for them. So finally, I just went and bought like a 30-cent Acme one, Yep. So it's all I could. I dealt with them for like a week and a half, and I was afraid that it might be like a pregnant female or something and have babies or something. So eventually, I had to go spend the 99 cents on that thing. But you're gonna pick up a mouse. I used to spray peppermint around my rig, and the peppermint oil that you can buy, and it worked really, really great. But later I found out that it'll attract bears. And so I decided not to do that because I didn't want to attract bears in the camps I was at, especially with other people around. I don't want someone to get attacked by a bear because I was stupid. But that actually seemed to work really, really well. When other people were picking up mice in Colorado, I wasn't picking them up. because they hate the smell of that peppermint oil.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you're probably gonna get mice in your rig at some point.
Oh God, yeah. I've debated, in all honesty, a cat. There is a couple that I watch that have 2 cats. Well, I don't watch them often because, as I heard early on, people talking about they can only really watch people that watch them, because. But I still give this couple is a huge channel. I don't think they're quite at 100,000, but they're probably bordering on it, and they're right now. It is It's I can't think of their name. They're down in South America right now. I see them plain as day. They were stuck in Mexico when COVID first hit, and they were there.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
They rented an apartment.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They travel with at least 1 cat, and they put their cats on a harness system and take them out. So yeah, I'm excited to be traveling, and with any luck in this lifetime, I will get to go Wednesday, leave for Arizona, and be able to get my interview with Bob Wells interviewing me.
Oh man, you're gonna go get it. Everybody's getting interviewed by Bob Wells. I know Johnny's Journey got interviewed. I did an interview with a woman named Bev, who had a van, and she just got interviewed by Bob Wells. Yeah, he films like a bunch of. I didn't know this about him. I learned this from the people that have been doing interviews with him. He films at this time of year when everyone's at Quartzsite. He films every single day a ton of videos of people's rigs, and then he just releases them throughout the year.
Yep.
I didn't realize that. So he's doing all his filming right now for the rest of the year, and then I think that's just brilliant of him.
Yes, he
does. Just take the rest of the year off.
He does 52 videos, 1 for each week of the year, and so we're supposed to get interviewed. We're supposed to be interviewed next Sunday at like 11 o'clock. I mean, the whole thing. So
you got to do that. Your channel, that will give you 10,000 subscribers like that. If Boxman had her YouTube channel with her first video, she'd have 100,000 subscribers right now. I guarantee you she would.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes.
So you have to do that. You have to. I'm not telling you what to do, Lucretia, but you have to go do that.
1 second. Patty Woods, it should be coming up under Burning Up the Roads.
Yeah, don't put the G. Don't put the G. People put the G a lot. It's not burning. It's burning.
Right, Burning Up the Roads. No G. I actually, with Blue Wave Odyssey, when I was trying to email him, I was trying to remember his email. It's simple, bluewaveodyssey@gmail.com. And because he runs it all the time through his videos. And I was putting a E on the end of blue, and it's just BLU. So, well, Kevin, I appreciate you and I respect you a lot. I love your channel. I adore you. And, you're just like talking to a regular person. You've got that ability.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you. You're the one that got me into kind of doing live streams, and it's just been a great supplement to my channel, and really helped me build community. So I appreciate you turning me on to that.
Well, you're welcome. And so I think what I'm going to do is drop you down, which I hate to do because I
please.
I love getting your knowledge. Your knowledge is real. It's in motion. It's in action. And those I love talking to everybody, but to get the opportunity to have a conversation with someone like you, I count as a blessing. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Lucretia. Thank you for having me on.
You have a good night.
You too.
If I can figure out how to, there we go. I really didn't want to drop him down. So there was one more person. So Patty Woods, Kaylee, if you could check and see if that actually comes up, because that's what my count actually shows. let me check it one more time, Kaylee, and Patty specifically. All right, I'm just going there. Because, you know, I want it to be right. Okay, so oh, so you did get it. You did find me, Patty. All right, I see you did. Good. Because, you know, I don't want to be telling people to go there and it's not there. All right. Thank you, sweetheart. And I appreciate that. You and I have, you know, we know, I know there's people, and I've many times in my life, I can only give $1 to something. And I agree. I have to tell you. So he made me think just as much as my friend this morning made me think. We do put more hours into doing this than can be financially equated. But I'm not in it for that. I just really love doing this. However, if there's an opportunity to make some money a little bit at a time, why would I pretend like that doesn't matter? You know, I live in a world that requires, if I want to get my hair cut by someone who knows how to cut hair, it's about $50. And if I want to have a camera, you know, if I want to have a camera that I can do photographs with, I paid about $400 for it. And eventually I would like one of those things Kevin bought, you know, because it helps. And those things cost money. And I was not born with a golden spoon in my mouth. I don't have that accessible to me at will. So anyways, enough about that. Again, if Backroads Nomad, if you're in the house, I really, or even Aaron, if either one of you are in the house, before I close out tonight, I'm hoping I would like Backroads to explain bushcraft, just a down and dirty, short explanation of bushcraft. I could explain the tiny bit I know, but I'd rather have a professional at it explain it. And I count you as a professional. So Backroads, if you're here, if you grab the link and come up. And if Aaron Jimison, if you're here, if you're still here, I'd love to have you come up so that I can get some more feedback from you about my thumbnails. I do think about you every time I start to do a thumbnail. What would Aaron say? And you are a scary guy because you're so dang smart and you are such a just do it person. And so I find myself wanting to live up to your expectation. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's kind of how I roll. Working with people, learning from people. Backroads. All right, let's get him up here. Hey, Backroads, how are you doing? Good. Good.
I got to mute the YouTube. Okay.
Well, thank you for hanging out for so long with us today.
Hello, everyone.
I was hoping you could tell us what bushcraft is in a succinct way.
Well, bushcraft in America isn't actually bushcraft. It's a stolen name. The people that live like in Africa or in Australia, the Aborigines, yep, and the bush people, they live bushcraft. Everything they do is from the bush. Americans don't really do bushcraft. They call it bushcraft, but it's not actually the same thing.
Okay.
When you're living, I spent time with Aborigines when I was in Australia in 2000, and I've spent time in Africa with different bush tribes. And when you're living every day where you have to get your food, your water, your everything that you need to subsist from the bush, that is actually bush. You're crafting things with the natural materials around you. You're crafting your footwear, you're crafting your clothes from hides from animals or from leaves from different types of plants. Mm-hmm. And this is what the Aborigines do. I used to travel 15 to 20 miles a day with the Aborigines when they would go for their water and food, which they did every single day.
Wow.
So bushcraft in essence is crafting things from the bush. Now here in America, if you live in the boreal forest, you're not really bushcrafting. You're going out, you're kind of doing rustic camping if you take minimal gear or things of that nature. Bushcraft here, what it's turned into is basically starting fires with either a hand drill where you literally rub two sticks together, a bow drill, flint and steel, things of that nature, building shelters from the materials in the woods. That's what the American term of bushcraft is. So it's a learning to be self-reliant in the woods is basically what bushcraft is here in North America.
Well, you just touched on something. You lived or for at some point in time with in African tribes.
I went because I went over hunting in Africa, and I practiced with, while I was there, I practiced with different tribes, the Maasai and the Bushmen of Nigeria, and different areas that I went to in the country that I studied their ways of living, and it was a great experience. I've also been to Peru. I've been with the Kandoshi Indians in Peru, and I've studied with them different things of that nature. So I've done a lot of bushcraft training, and I've taught what Americans call bushcraft here in the States from time to time.
Well, that is amazing. That truly is amazing to me that somebody could go do that, to start with. That you're lucky you got to go do something so amazing. I don't even know another word to start saying for it.
Well, I was extremely privileged to be able to go and do that, because a lot of those tribes don't just welcome outsiders in. So some of the trackers that we use got me connections with some of the tribes that they knew, and were able to get me in and allow, so I was allowed to go in and live with them and study with them and learn their ways, what they do day to day. I mean, their hunting skills, their tracking skills, their everyday subsistence skills far outweigh anything that an American, so to speak, minimalist or primitive skills person could ever think of doing.
Maybe primitive skills in our country might be a better word than bushcraft. Yeah,
it is. It is. Yeah. Bushcraft has really become a bastardized word in this country, and everyone kind of trades on the term bushcraft. But what Americans do is not really bushcraft at all. It's primitive skills. Now, and primitive skills go back to our ancestors that were here on the North American continent, the Neanderthals and the Cro-Magnons and things of that nature. So, they had those primitive skills, but they weren't really as much bushcrafty as people say in, Africa or Australia or New Zealand or places like that, where it's a lot more of a dry climate, a lot more barren climate than what you have here.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you hunted in Africa.
Yes.
What did you mind sharing what you got? What your
many different kinds of animals over the years I was there. I went did a lot of my hunting with Ted Nugent, who's a good friend of mine. So
wow. I would love to go see animals over there. Like, I really would like to see a lion. Those where they. You want to know whose channel I love? Another channel I love that's nothing to do with us. It is Kevin Richardson, the Lion Whisperer. Mm-hmm. I love his show. I think he's one of the luckiest people alive, to be honest. When I see him rolling around with those lions like they're his babies, yet he understands there's risk involved. But he respects them and they respect him. And I don't care what he says. They love him. They feel a love emotion for that man. It is not simply he's their dad.
What's actually funny is when we were over there, the most dangerous animals I ever encountered were elephants and hippos. They're far more dangerous than a lion.
And a hippo, I do understand from watching most anything Richard and I watch, especially at night when we go to bed. We'll watch either. Probably done with YouTube by the time Richard comes to bed, but we'll watch a lot of zoo shows and natural wildlife stuff because we both love it. And another thing, the elephants, they're amazing animal and they're so smart, it sounds like.
They're very smart and they're also very dangerous.
Yes, especially I think what we see, like what I see in zoos, even though people people don't actually go in with them and what the zoo shows I watch, they are very close to them. You know, they scrub them and they keep them water on them, but they also understand, you know, that these are very wild, capably dangerous animals.
Yes. Yeah. When you're standing in front of a 12 to 14,000 pound bull elephant with tusks that literally could scare you in a heartbeat, it's quite an adrenaline rush, to say the least.
I bet.
It's exhilarating, but it's also very nerve-wracking at the same time.
When I was recovering from my very first fusion surgery 5 years ago, I watched a series on these lions that were a brotherhood of lions, and it was like considered the most I don't know the right word to say. I'm just going to say the most profoundly proliferating group of lions they'd ever followed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it watched how, as they aged, each lion eventually was taken out by this new pack of lions. And it was years. I mean, it was years in the making. And I get goosebumps when I think about it, because some of the recordings of when they died at the mouth of another lion was very, I sobbed my eyes out, to be honest with you, because with people who watched it, became connected to them. They were just a very profound group of lions. But anyways, well, sounds like you have definitely had travels around this world.
Yeah, I've done my share of nomad travels from this continent and others. Yeah. So, as far as your thumbnails, they're getting better and better each time. They're looking a lot better.
Good.
Looking, lack of a better term, more professional, more polished. So
Sure.
you're getting better at it.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, because you're the other person. You and Aaron know how to do thumbnails, and that, when we did that one live stream together, it really, I did start thinking. I looked at all my videos, and the live streams especially, there's what was generally one specific picture I used, and once I found out about the other tools I could have in my tool bag, I was, why not use them?
Exactly. Yeah, use whatever you can to make it look as good as you can make it look.
Yeah, because I do want the message to be there, exactly what I'm trying to say, and not a bunch of words.
Right.
Not a bunch of words. Let's see here. You laughed at my last comment. And in case I have not related it, the respect that I have for your channel and what you do, I'm always telling Richard, look at Backroads. Go look at Backroads. You have a question about this, go look at Backroads. And, because we want to make sure that we have the right tools to take with us. It's not like we're going to be in the middle of nowhere, but we have to be able to depend on ourselves as much as possible.
I was working on a graphic. Let's see if I can.
Oh my gosh. That is fabulous. Backroads, that is, wow. That's really good.
So once I get it polished up, I'll be sending it to you.
Okay, that would be wonderful. I'm all for having the ability to change up or freshen things up, and that is really nice. A question you might have the answer to. When we go out into national forests, my understanding is if we have a removable graphic, that if we have a YouTube graphic that shows burning up the roads with a YouTube sign on it, you can't have that up or posted anywhere if you're in a national forest. Is that true?
As long as it's on your vehicle, but you can't put out any kind of thing that you stick in the ground or put up on a tree. But on your vehicle, yeah, you can have whatever you want in your vehiole.
Okay. I thought you just couldn't have anything, like even identifying in any way that you might have an income from something.
No, that you can have whatever you could. If you had like a banner, you could zip tie it to the front of your windshield, or as long as it's on your vehicle, but you can't put anything in the ground or on the trees or any of the natural, flora around in the national forest. But whatever's on your vehicle or attached to your vehicle, you can do just fine.
Okay. All right. Well, there is some leeway then. That's fabulous. Really, it is. Really cool.
Yeah, I set it up so it can be a decal.
Mm-hmm. I got to do a video on this, but I ordered stickers and I got the stickers and I haven't shared them with anybody because I've never ordered stickers before. And they're small. I didn't realize that. I mean, yeah. I didn't realize that. It shows up pretty good, but it's like embarrassing. I see it's me. It's all about how I perceive things for myself, not for anybody else. But it just seems like, oh, Lucretia, how could you have made that mistake? But it's
those are good for is if somebody sends you a donation, you can get their address and send them a thank you. Like maybe make up a photo of you and Richard in front of the RV and put that little decal on that photo and then send it as a thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you every day.
Yeah. Makestickers.com is the best place to get decals made. And then you can pick the sizes. 4-inch is the smallest you should go. I generally go with 5-inch. I want my decals, since I'm going to be out there and people want them, I want them to stand out. I want people to be able to see them. So I generally go 4-inch minimum, but I generally go with a 5-inch when I make them.
Okay. And you might know about this too. And hello, Camille Tyler. Thank you for coming in. This woman is a brand specialist. And Camille, you should see the stuff that Backroads Nomad does. And I recommend you check him out, and vice versa. So, as far as merch, I can't believe we've been on here this long, 3.5 hours. So merch. So now I'm going to start looking at that as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So like for T-shirts, for things like that, because I know that there's different quality, a different quality of product available, like specifically T-shirts. Do you know one company that seems to have a better quality over another company? And by the way, I know for a fact that cotton is not the same from every darn manufacturer.
No, it's not. It's not. The two top that I recommend are Teespring and Bonfire. They're both really good quality places, and you can set it up so that you don't have to order and hold on and send out stuff. People can order and they'll be sent directly from either Bonfire or Teespring to the customer when they order it.
Okay, because that's I want to make sure it's good quality. There's a store that I used to buy from here in Eugene. They're national, and they cater to a size 12 and up woman, and it's what it was for. And their quality of clothes I paid through the nose for, because they were a specialty store. But if I go to Walmart and I get the same exact, I want a T-shirt at Walmart and I want a T-shirt at Catherine's, the place I bought my clothes from is called Catherine's. I would pay $25 for a T-shirt at Catherine's and pay $5 for a T-shirt at Walmart. And the truth is, there really was a difference in the quality of cotton. 100% cotton, and I don't know how that happens, but there's different cotton manufacturers out there in the world.
Yeah, there is. There's different qualities depending on the company, and a lot of the company, like Hanes, used to be really good quality. Their quality's not as good as it used to be anymore. So you really have to look. Like Champion makes good quality stuff, but I do know with Teespring and Bonfire, the quality of the shirts that they have is I've ordered stuff from both samples to test, and their quality is right on par with some of the top stuff, but it's affordable so that you can make some money off of what you're selling. You can make a little profit.
Vanderella says here, we like Teespring. Best thing is you pay wholesale when sending out prizes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice to know.
With Bonfire, it's really nice because you can run a campaign from, I think its minimum is 5 days up to 21 days. And you can set up a Bonfire store as well, so that you can have merchandise on your store all the time. You can change out what you want. If you put on different logos, like a lot of people every year change up their logo like I do. So I have a 2018 logo, 2019, 2020, 2021. So you can change that up if you want all the time, and then have your one consistent item that with your burning up the roads logo that you might want all the time. So you have flexibility with both Teespring and Bonfire, and that's why I like both of those.
Yeah, and I just thought of something. So my indebted gratitude to Corey for doing my first logo, because I actually found the little card. I found it. He just put it into a logo and a header. What do you call it? A
Banner.
A banner. He did a banner and the logo, and I'm in love with that. But I have to say, if I talk about it without being like logical, so our vehicle is an RV, and your thing perfectly depicts burning up the roads.
And it's if I can get it to orient now. If you look at it, it's a 1991, just like yours.
I know. I was looking. That's exactly like ours, except it doesn't have the the stuff coming off a little bit. That's beautiful, and that is a perfect one right there. Perfect.
So, but yeah, I was just playing around doing some graphic stuff, and so
That's cool. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Did you get training?
Is Kaylee's question? No, I haven't had any complaints from anybody who's ordered anything, but I checked out the quality of what Teespring and Bonfire had. I had them send me samples before I even ordered. And to tell you the truth, Bonfire I found out about from Eric, Nomadic Fanatic, because that's one of the companies he originally used. Lettering is starting to come on. Oh, wow.
I haven't bought any T-shirts or hoodies or nothing. So that's why I'm kind of at the mercy of people who have experienced, through buying and selling those things.
Well, with Bonfire, they also have different levels of quality shirts that you can choose from. So the T-shirts, they have like a discounted level, and then they have a medium level and a high level. So you can choose the level of shirts that you want to use, and you can set your own price as far as what you want to sell them for. They tell you the base price, what it costs to make per shirt, and then you can adjust your price to from anywhere from $3 profit up to whatever you want to do. So
well, that's I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. So
yeah,
thank you for explaining that. That might be one of the problems, is there might be some people who are doing the lowest level and trying to save money for the people who buy them, and it's just not as good a quality. Right,
but that can come around to bite you in the back end though when you do that. So
yeah,
people that want to wear shirts, if you're looking, think about it, sports teams or any kind of thing like that, people are willing to pay if they want to buy it to support whatever they're supporting. They're willing to pay a little more money to get quality that'll last a long time. They don't want something that's only going to last a couple washings or a couple months, and then might as well throw that money in the trash because that's what you're doing. So
I have a T-shirt I bought from the University of Oregon when I was going there. I bought it about 10 years ago, and it's got Oregon across the front. It's green and yellow, and it really is still, the material itself is in great condition. And a little bit of the lettering is kind of faded, but honestly, it still is a good T-shirt.
Yeah. So 10 years, that's when if you buy a T-shirt for $25, it lasts you 10 years, that's a good investment.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, you can also, if you do have problems with the clothing, you can contact. I know Teespring and Bonfire both have really good customer service with their merchandise. So maybe there was something just wrong with that run of shirts, and most times they'll replace it without any questions asked.
Right. That might be. All right. I'm going to run my, I think, nope, that's not what I want. I want to I didn't mean to put Patreon on there. I wanted to run my email address in case anybody, there it is. Anybody needs to get a hold of me. I also want to let people know that if you're interested in being interviewed on our channel, I do interviews generally on Mondays, but I have flexibility to do it on Thursdays as well. So if you're interested, please reach out at burninguptheroads1@gmail.com and let me know, because I would love to interview anybody. Because I didn't, nobody gets to the point of having a monetized channel because, we do this alone. There's a partnership. It's like I'm learning from Backroads. Anytime he opens his mouth on my channel, I learn something from him. Like just everything y'all heard today, and from everybody else who's talked. I don't know these things, and I'm having to learn them. So, do you have an opinion on the issue that I talked about with the whole monetization thing? Because you've been around for quite a while, and do you think there is validity in both arguments, like what Kevin from 30 and a Wakeup talked about? I agree. I'm grateful YouTube is here for somebody, who's got 1,300 people who like me, or 1,250. It's probably less after this show. And have enjoy, or at some level enjoy the show or something, whether it's watching the videos. And that they give me the opportunity to do this, versus the feedback I got earlier in the day, which was respectful feedback, but questioning why somebody, and this is how I read it, somebody who's so new and really doesn't know crap is thinking they should get any money. I mean, there's two views on that. Or do you want to not be put on the spot?
No, this is one of the things that irritates me. When you look at somebody, there's people that look at Nomadic Fanatic. He's got over 200,000 subscribers, and there's still people out there going, why does anybody give him any money? Why does he deserve any money? All he's doing is making videos. People don't understand that YouTube, when you do it the way that Eric does it, or the way that Camper Van Kevin does it, or any of the other people like that, it is a job. It is their business. It is, you're a brand. You're putting out content that is giving people entertainment. We talked about this on your last live stream. People can go and pay $80 or $100 a month for Dish or Direct or cable and watch crap, or they can give money to their favorite YouTubers, maybe $5 a month. Let's say they take 10 people and they give each one $5 a month. That's $50. So that $50 is cheaper than what they would pay for a satellite TV or cable TV, and they're getting to them, that's giving them more entertainment because they actually like watching the content from the people that they're supporting. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, people that are just out there constantly begging for money, like, oh, my radiator hose went out, it's going to be $300, I need money, or my tires are blown out, I need $1,000, I need money. Those kind of people, I don't watch, and they should not be out there doing it. If you can't make it and budget yourself to do what you need to do to live on the road, you shouldn't be out on the road. But there are times when things happen, when the crap hits the fan, and sometimes people need a little help. I don't have a problem with that. But people that are constantly e-begging, as they call it, no. But when you're offering people quality content and you're helping people in the way that a lot of people said in the last live stream, you've helped them with people with disabilities learn how to get out and do this on the road. New Horizons has done it with people with disabilities. When people put out content that is quality content that helps other people, there's nothing wrong with it. I even have people that have written to me telling me, I can never get on the road. I can never do any of the things that you or so-and-so or so-and-so or so-and-so does, but you help me through some dark times of my life. And I really appreciate the content you put out. I appreciate hearing what you have to say. I've gotten that repeatedly. And people have donated because of that, because they said it helped them. So I don't care if you're 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. If you're putting out content that people like, people want to support, and people want to watch, more power to you. More power to whatever you're doing to help those people. We're all out here to help each other in one way or another. people all the time say what a great community it is. Johnny's Journey and Kelly from Vanderella, yourself, David from Gone Boondocking, Camper Van Kevin, all the live streams I've ever been on with people, and they've always talked about how the community helped them. We're all out here to help each other. We're all out here to help each other get better, be better, do better, and grow better. And if people are supporting you for that, that means you're doing a good job. If no one's supporting you and you don't have any subscribers and you're just sitting there, blowing wind into a camera for no reason because 5 people are watching, then maybe it's not worth it, but at least you're helping 5 people. You've got 5 viewers that you're out there helping because they're watching your videos, or maybe you have 500 or 5,000 or whatever. But as long as you're putting out content, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's a business, and people are out here to make money, especially what we went through in 2020. A lot of people lost their businesses. They have to find alternate ways to make money, and YouTube is no different. It's a business. It's a job. It takes time. You doing these live streams, you don't just put these on in 5 minutes.
No.
It takes time to put your live stream together before you go on the air. Talking to people to get interviews, talking about the topics that you want to discuss that day. You have to make notes, and you have to research, and you have to do things. When we did that thumbnail class, I know you had to put things together to do the online thumbnail class, that live stream. That all takes time. Why shouldn't you get compensated for that?
Okay. Well, no, and I agree. I mean, I agree. And I'm not asking for $50. I'm not saying give me this particular amount of money, or anybody to give me money. Actually, thank you, Vanderella, for the gift. I appreciate that very much. I don't get to do the work I was working on a master's degree in 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Public policy, health policy. I wanted to be helping make health policy. I can't do it because I can't actually be, and I don't generally use the word can't, but because of my disabilities, being employed by another person is not gonna probably happen, because I have days I have to spend in bed. I mean, it's not uncommon for one day a week where I actually, for the most part, stay in bed, depending on what we've done, because of the nerve pain, because I choose not to take opiate medicine. And but Camper Van Kevin, if you talk to him again, first of all, tell him that I'm praying for him every day. I love him and those dogs. He has my heart. And Richard, we both adore Kevin. And that he actually encouraged me unknowingly to try a CBD in a particular way. And it didn't help my pain. But that's just, the nerve pain is a different animal. So it isn't, and his pain that he's got is, I guarantee I believe is catastrophic pain. And nerve pain is so specific. It's just something I have to learn to live with to a large degree. So,
well, there are CBD salves that you can apply topically to areas that will help with that. So don't give up on them.
Okay, because there's nothing I would like more than to have the opportunity to be back out in nature, more than just sitting at a picnic table or sitting in a chair by a river. I love to fish. Richard, we love to fish, but some of the fishing holes that you want to get to are going to be difficult with a walker. It's just how it is. I won't be doing certain things, but I will never give up on trying to do some things. Well,
there are off-road mobility carts that are made. That's one of the things that you could look at doing, is getting a company to maybe sponsor you with a mobility cart that you could feature in your video, so you could get out and do those things.
Wow, you just backroads. Honest to God, I never thought of that. Part of the reason, I think, is probably because I'm still thinking like, well, why would somebody want to sponsor somebody with 1,249 people? I haven't even got a check yet from YouTube. I'm so new, So, but you never know.
A lot of companies nowadays like working with smaller channels, because with everything happening that's happened in 2020, budgets are smaller. They don't have as much money to spend on marketing and advertising. So working with smaller channels, giving someone a product is I mean, it's a business write-off for them, and it's something that can help in their space where you might get out to more people with disabilities. That would help people see, oh, I could get one of these and I could go out and do the same thing Lucretia does. Yeah. So working with smaller channels is not, trust me, it's not, I'm not saying that they're going to say yes, but there's more than one company that makes products. And if you put it out there, you're most likely going to find someone, or maybe they could work on a payment plan with you, even, donate part of it and say, hey, if you pay $100 a month or $50 a month, right, we can work this out. So there's all those possibilities, but that's something you could look at as well, where, and you're showing it in the shots, you're showing riding it out to wherever fishing hole you're going to. Yeah. I mean, that's great advertising for them.
Okay. That is something I will actually look into, because, I would love to go to some different, locations that currently are inaccessible to me and to anybody really with my condition, and have that ability to get there. I have a riding scooter, but it's not an off-road mobile. It is a riding wheelchair with a electric wheelchair. But it is a hover round, so it's pretty good. It's got nice sturdy wheels. All right, back rows. Well, I'm right at 4 hours, and I've got to feed my dog. I've got to find my husband out in the RV and see what he's fixed. There were some little tweaks that he was working on. We got a ride behind us when we came back the other night from picking up the solar. And no, I meant to say Troy, Nomadic Rat Pack, followed us back to Eugene from Oak Ridge because they needed to go to the store in Eugene. And he noticed that there was a problem with some lights, but they actually weren't out. I think there was a short, and Richard figured it out and fixed it. So it was nice to have somebody follow him behind, because I did not go over 40 miles an hour coming over that road. I did about 40, and eventually I got up to 50. But there was quite a line behind me.
A lot of people starting out in RVs do the same thing. So it's just, it's going to take time before you're comfortable.
And Richard will soon be released to be able to drive. So we're looking forward to that. But I told him there's no, and I won't use the exact language I used to him, but there's no way you're going 60 miles an hour on Highway 58 between Eugene and Oak Ridge with me in the vehicle, buddy. So I will never be sleeping in the back. So be prepared.
Well, I put in the chat earlier, when you guys are heading courtside, if you come this way, I'll put your solar on for you.
Okay. I know I saw that, and that's wonderful. I'll let you know. We will have a very small window, though. It's our problem. We need to be there by next Sunday, 1 week from today. And right now we can't really leave before Wednesday. We may be able to leave Tuesday. If things have worked out. I have some things I had to get worked out. So if that all works out, that would be great. I just have to figure out how much snow is between you and me. I'm not prepared yet to drive in snow. I've driven in snow all of my driving life, and I've been driving since I was 15 when I got my permit. But my father, where we live, is a regular neighborhood, suburban neighborhood. And there's one of the curves that you have to stop at, a stop sign. It's a two-way stop sign. Mm-hmm. You have to stop, but it has a down slope towards the stop sign. And he said, now you have to be pretty well stopped before you come to that stop sign. Before, you need to start stopping. And I'm like, I'll get stopped before the stop sign, Dad, because there was some ice. Sure enough, there was that down slope that I, as a new driver, wasn't aware of, and it slid me right into the curve. Mm-hmm. And I learned to listen to him a little bit more about my driving. So yeah, I don't mind it in a car, but when you have. So when I'm driving the RV, I feel a very specific sense of responsibility. And I never want to be the cause of an accident because I've overestimated my skill or the rig's ability to maneuver or stop. And right. So I'm very careful with it. And, if it takes someone 10 minutes to get a little, get those 40 extra 10 or 15 minutes, maybe we save their damn life. Right. People just speed around me. Go ahead.
Get a set of dually tire chains for that thing for the winter driving, because
They make dually tire chains.
yes, they do. Yes,
Okay.
they do. So
Okay.
you find them on Amazon for your size tires. It's good insurance to have because you're going to be driving through a lot of mountain passes between here and Arizona, and you most likely some places require them. You can't go without them.
Yes.
So
In Oregon, most of our passes, when there is snow in Oregon, they almost always say tire chains required.
right.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, get a good set of dually tire chains.
All right, Backroads. Well, thank you so much for your time and your experience and your wisdom. I genuinely appreciate it. And I don't know if we'll get to see you this trip because we're going to have to make a beeline for Arizona. And how long does it take to put on? So one last question about this. How long does it take? These are pretty big panels, 5 foot by about 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And how long does it take to put on something like that? I mean, we've got all the equipment for it.
It depends. It can take. It can be done in a day and a half, 2 days, if it's an easy install. But
Right.
at the most, it shouldn't take more than 3 days to put on.
Okay. All right.
So.
Well, we'll talk about it if it turns out to be something we can do. But I have my gut instinct is that I don't know that we can do that. I just because of the interview, trying to get to that interview. But who knows? Who knows? Things change all the time. All things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Please, since I have you as my friend, please tell Kevin hello. And
I definitely will.
all right. Thank you so much. And also, if you talk to David, tell him hello from Burning Up the Roads.
Okay, will
All
do.
right. Thank you so much. See you soon.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Wow. A lot of information, and I have taken notes as I do. And I appreciate everybody some of you have been here for the full 4 hours, and that really does shock me. But I know there's other live streams going on right now, and I'm actually getting a little bit tired. And thank you for the thumbs up, and thank you, Kaylee, for encouraging thumbs up. I hope it's been a good time for people. I know we talked about some uncomfortable things, including money. And see, I cover my face automatically. I don't know. I can't explain it. I have it's like, I don't know. But for those of you who did gift us today, whether it was here or it was on PayPal, thank you so much. And it is going to be managed. Word did I use? Anyways, it's going to be managed correctly, every dime of it. And you will see as we get to do things and bring you better content and more content. And I appreciate, and I so love this group of people, and each and every one of you are deeply appreciated so much. So thank you for coming. I appreciate you were here. I wish there was a better way to say goodbye, but I never end it very gracefully, do I? But have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and be happy.